Hello, hello, hello. What's up this morning, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, Dirty Red, Thornblood, Lando, Atlanta? Oh, and one by Lucid, of course. Pikachu Gundam. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully you all are having an amazing day, a spectacular week, and today, for the first time in a minute, I guess actually last stream, we ended up playing Modern because Arena was down. But for the first time in a minute, we're actually just going to play some Modern today because this deck looks really sweet. It's a combination of cool new cards that I really like and a really nostalgic old card that I have not seen in Modern in a long time in Greater Gargadon. This deck looks super fun. This is a Modern weapons manufacturing Biotech specialist Greater Gargadon combo deck, and I'm really excited to give this deck a try. The basic idea is play weapons manufacturing, play a bunch of cheap artifacts, suspend a Gargadon so we can sack the weapons manufacturing tokens. We also have Arcbound Ravager that can do the same thing, and hopefully just burn our opponent out of the game with weapons manufacturing, with Biotech Specialist as kind of a backup weapons manufacturing. We can also like Pinnacle Emissary to make artifacts to sack to the Ravager to trigger the Biotech Specialist. It just looks super fun. So that's what we're going to start off with today. Is a little bit of Biotech weapons manufacturing in Modern, and I'm pretty hyped for it. We also, we got the full Spider-Man set. But we didn't just get the full Spider-Man set. The full Spider-Man set's up, but we also got the full Through the Omen Pass set, which I gotta say, I gotta ask you all about this before we get into anything, because I've been thinking about this all day yesterday, all this morning. Bookford, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. What do you think of the Through the Omen Pass card? So if you missed this, we've talked about it before. They didn't get the rights to make the Spider-Man cards or any Marvel cards in digital. So what their decision was, all right, well, we can't make them in digital. So what we'll do is we'll just make another version of the set on Arena that doesn't use any Marvel IP. And I gotta say, the end result, some of the cards actually look super cool. Like, the best example for this for me, the card that I saw when I was like, wow, this card looks so cool in universe, is Arachnomania. Look at the art on that card. Just look how cool that spider art is. It just looks so neat. I just love the art on it. It's kind of a cool design of a card. And when you compare it to the in-universe, or the Universes Beyond version, which, oh god, I just was like, hey, I can just type spider hyphen in here and I'll find it. But that brought up 125 examples. Spider-Verse. This is the Spider-Man version. And I don't know if this is just my Magic player bias of like, I'm very familiar with Magic cards. I've played it for so long. But just like looking at those two cards side by side, personally, as someone who doesn't have a connection to Spider-Man really, this card looks way cooler than this one to me. But yeah, so the whole in-universe set is out. They released the full gallery yesterday. Some of them are pretty funny. Some of them, they made it kind of like a real set, but it's scattered across the plane. So there's not really any consistent theme, which I guess makes sense because Spider-Man was kind of across the Spider-Verse. So I guess that's probably just going to be necessary. They actually made like spider people though. That was how they handled it. Rather than making like Spider-Man, they're kind of like humanoid spiders in the in-universe plane for most of the spider cards. I think it actually turned out pretty cool. They also, it's so funny. Some of the cards that I thought were just silly, like Bagel and Schmear, the versions that they made for Through the Omen Pass, I think, really in an accidental weird way, it kind of just shows almost exactly my criticism of them. Like, where is Bagel and Smear? Okay, Bagel and Smear, which I know I like to meme on, and really in reality, so people are clear on this, it's not like a big deal, but like, for some reason, for me, this kind of exemplifies what I've been trying to say and probably not doing very well, is for some reason, when I see Perfected Pastry, to me, I'm like, okay, that's like kind of fantastical in like, it kind of, I don't know, it makes sense to my brain as being like a Magic card. When I see Bagel and Smear, I see breakfast, basically, and I'm like, tasty, but it just isn't fantastical. So it's kind of funny to see that like, they could make it like this, but then they make it like that instead. Yeah, I don't know why the Bagel and Smear is is considered to be Marvel's IP, but yeah, if you ever need the deck, ! deck, we'll give it to you. Never get to catch your streams, but a huge fan of Big Inspiration. Thanks for always making great content. Well, Severin, thank you so much for your kind words. But we got them all up over on the site. So if you want to check out the in-universe versions, compare them to the out-of-universe versions. Pretty interesting to see. Isn't Perfected Pastry a sneaky self-reference? Oh, I guess maybe it is, actually. Check out this pure cheese best of one deck. 50% play, 29% draw win rate. Just desserts. Wait, oh, it's literally just deserts. oh, this is actually this. Wait, is this in standard? Oh no, it's not in standard. Oh, we don't have Cultivator Colossus in standard. If we could do this in standard, it'd be really funny. That's a super hilarious. It's like Zombie Hunt. It's like Zombie Hunt. Just mulligan until you find Breaching Dragonstorm. Breaching Dragonstorm, Cultivator Colossus. Hopefully, get enough deserts to win the game on the spot. That's a super fun idea. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, let's do our reminders real quick, and we can start playing some Magic. Then we can talk about, I don't know, music, Magic. I watched a little bit of football. Oh my God, my arms. I don't know if you can see it on camera. My arms this weekend. Okay, so I don't know if you can see how beat up my arms are. I guess it doesn't come across that well. I'm just like, my arms got absolutely destroyed. There's got to be a better. Let's see. Boom. Haha. Maybe you can see there. Yeah, like you can see there and here and up here. I don't know. I had to build a fence for Bear this weekend because I wanted Bear to be able to go outside. He'd been stuck just on the deck, and I want him to be able to go in the yard. So I had this bright idea that I was gonna build a fence for Bear. So I got these big rolls of like welded wire fence. And it turns out it's not too hard to put up. You got to put like the fence posts in, you got to put the fence on it. But I had this bright idea that I could just kind of like bear hug the roll of fence and drag it around. And my arms did not like that technique. I was just bleeding everywhere down my arm. But we got the fence up, so now Bear can go outside. Oh, you don't want to see a carpentry stream from me. I am so bad at stuff like that. Lucid for the 65th month. Welcome back to a bear hug. Welcome back to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Oh, I can't believe I missed Fleen. That is the most important card of all this. The one card. And then we'll do the reminders and we'll start playing, I promise. But there's one card. This one's so good. There's one card from the Through the Omen Pass set that has captured the imagination of the Magic community. That card, Luca Johnny, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you. I gotta show it to you because it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Let's see, what one was? It was one of the flip cards. Eddie Brock? No. Not you. You. Okay. So we have Norman Osborn, which flips into the Green Goblin. We got the in-universe version of this card, and it's so good. It's so good. Where is the in-universe version? Here it is. Gobin. Oh, it flips. So the Universe is Beyond version, you get the Green Goblin, obviously an iconic Spider-Man character. However, in universe, Green Goblin is not the Green Goblin. Green Goblin is Fleem, Gobin's creation. And I gotta say, this is the new loot for me. This is a new loot. If I'm gonna build a shrine to a Magic character in my house, it's gonna be Flame. It feels so authentic and natural in such a weird way, where you have this like cute loot character that Wizards has tried so hard to make me like that it actually makes me dislike it just because they're trying so hard. And then you have Fleem, which is a card that they didn't even want to make because it's supposed to be a Spider-Man card. They have to make it for Magic Arena, and it turns out so cute and perfect. Like, I would buy a Fleem plushie, and I hate stuff like that. So yes, Fleem is the biggest winner from the from the release of the Through the Omens Pass set. Everyone just loves Fleem. So whatever you think of Spider-Man, hey, we got Fleem out of it. At least we got Fleem out of it. Oh yes, hugging wire fence was not a good strategy. I thought I could just bear hug it, but it didn't work. Hey, what's up, numbers? How are you? So reminders, replay YouTube. That's when we invite all the old streams, including this one, to the future normal YouTube. Yesterday, had to make a critical video about the Spider-Man set. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I just want to reinforce something that's in the video, and that is, and I think this is really, really important for people to understand, when it comes to being critical of something like Magic, it's not just to like complain or to vent or to meme or any of that kind of stuff. Like, it's to make Magic better. So I really tried to make a video that was critical and pointed out what I thought were the flaws with the Spider-Man set, but also have it be actionable and constructive, where here's things you can actually do to avoid having this happen in the future. So I think that's actually important to be critical in that way. But anyway, that was on the YouTube. Tomorrow, we might be teaching arena zoomers about what I might say would be Modern's most hated all-time archetype. Probably. At least Modern's boringest all-time archetype. So that should be interesting. Of course, our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can go over cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Hey, thank you, dog. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I hope it came across as, like, fair and constructive and not just complaining, which was the goal of it. I actually really like making. I think we're gonna see more video essays. I think I'm gonna do more. It probably won't be on a weekly basis, but I'm definitely gonna do more video essays because I enjoy making. Wow, you guys are pretty good. It might be teaching arena zoomers about eggs. Maybe we might be teaching some zoomers about eggs. But I think I'm gonna do some more of the video essay style videos just because I enjoy making them, and it kind of I don't know if you've been following my content for a long time. The way I actually kind of. Let me see if I can look up this article. If you go back to the old days, like in 2015, 2016, and I wrote a lot of like pretty in-depth long articles about Magic stuff, opinions on stuff, different sets, finance stuff. Like this one was the article where like the idea of Wizards managing their savings account and reprint equity came from. But I used to write a lot of these really long essay style articles, and I kind of miss that. We've moved away from writing articles like this just because it's a video world now and YouTube's a thing and all that. But I've come to realize I can essentially do the same thing and just make it a video, and it serves the same purpose. So I don't know, I've really been enjoying the video essay type stuff. I think it's great that you have a built-in platform for a game you love and actually use it to get Wizards' attention, possibly. You and creators like you are the voice of the people. I actually feel like that's part of my responsibility. I feel like the only reason I have a platform at all is because of all of you. Like, I exist because of all of you, or else there wouldn't be a Saffron Olive. So I think part of my responsibility is someone who, because of the community, has a platform, is to use that platform. And I hope this doesn't sound arrogant in some way, but you try to be like the voice of the people and get across, because a random person on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter probably is not going to catch the eye of Wizards, but thanks to the platform that you all have allowed me to have, maybe when I say something or Prof says something, maybe it gets through in a little way. So I actually think that's part of the responsibility in some ways of having a platform, if that makes sense. Hey, good to have you, Third World Jesus. So what are we doing today? Oh, I'm so hyped for this deck. So Greater Gargadon. I have loved Greater Gargadon ever since, I want to say, the second ever Budget Magic, which that is a secret, is it? Sneaky couple of cute pets in there, and how critical can it be? I have loved Greater Gargadon ever since this, I believe it was the second ever Budget Magic, was his Restore Ballads. Greater Gargadon, such a unique card. You suspend it for 10 turns for 1 red mana, but you can sack an artifact creature land to remove a time counter from it. So the idea of Greater Gargadon in this deck, and I was almost thinking, is there a way I could fit Restore Balance in this deck? It would take a huge rebuild though, so we're not going to try to do that today, but there might be a way to try to shoehorn in a Restore Balance plan. But anyway, so the idea of this deck, what are we doing with this deck? We got 2 payoffs, which are Weapons Manufacturing, which you might know from Standard. We've played it in Standard before. When a non-token artifact enters, we get a munitions that when it leaves the battlefield does 2 damage to any target. So that's payoff number 1. Payoff number 2 is Biotech Specialist. So Biotech Specialist, when it enters, it makes a lander token, which is fine. But the actual ability that matters to Biotech Specialist is is when this creature when you sacrifice an artifact, you deal 2 damage to each opponent. So these cards essentially kind of serve the same purpose. Weapons Manufacturing makes artifacts that deal 2 damage. Biotech Specialist turns all of our artifacts into 2 damage. If we also have Weapons Manufacturing, then the munitions deal 4 damage when we sack them to Biotech Specialist. So essentially, we play some of these cards. We also have Pinnacle Emissary, which is just a great way to make a ton of artifacts. Works really well with Biotech Specialist. Whenever an artifact enters, we get a 1/1 drone, which is an artifact. So these cards flood the board with these damage artifacts, and then all we need to do to win the game, after casting a bunch of random artifacts to trigger our Weapons Manufacturing and our Pinnacle Emissary and grow our board for Biotech Specialist, is to sack our entire board of artifacts. So we do this with Greater Gargadon primarily, so we can suspend Greater Gargadon and just sacrifice stuff to remove the time counters from it. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, we also have Arcbound Ravager, which just sacks an artifact to put a counter on itself. So it looks kind of like an Affinity-style deck, but it's really not an Affinity-style deck. Even though it's got Pinnacle Emissary, it's really this Weapons Manufacturing, Artifact Aristocrat, Greater Gargadon Sacrifice combo-style deck. Will this deck work? I have absolutely no idea, but we're about to find out right now, because we're going to jump into a Modern League and see if we can actually manufacture some weapons in Modern. We're gonna see. I do think the concerns about Spider-Man cards being different on Arena versus Paper are overblown, and it'll not be that big of a deal. Interesting. I mean, I hope you're right. What really sold it for me, thinking, well, so I've thought that was a big deal since the beginning. On principle, I think cards need to be the same, and it's just confusing. But here's the thing that really drove it home for me that I'm curious about. How would you respond to this? So, as far as I can tell, the biggest upside of Universes Beyond is bringing new players into the game. They're players that would have never heard of Innistrad or Ravnica, but they know Spider-Man or Final Fantasy or Lord of the Rings, and doing the crossovers can bring these players into the game. But the thing I see about having different versions on digital is, how do I get those new players into the game? Like, the question I'm stuck with is, a lot of times when someone comes up to me and is like, hey, I just started playing Magic, how do I learn? How do I get better? What do I do? My answer is always, go to Magic Arena. It'll walk you through the tutorial. It's really good at that. It'll make you learn the basic rules. So that's my go-to, is go play some Arena. That's gonna help you, right? That's gonna help you learn how to play Magic. But if you're someone that was brought into the game specifically by Spider-Man, the reason you exist as a Magic player is you're like, I want to play with Spider-Man cards. What do I tell that person? Do I tell them to go play with Scions of the Earth Spiders on Arena, even though the reason that they're even playing Magic at all is they want to play with Spider-Man cards? So that's where I think there's an actual impact with that disconnect, is if the goal of Universes Beyond is to bring in new players, I assume we want those new players to also be able to play on Arena so they can learn how to play the game, and it just kind of falls apart a little bit on that end. I think it's only way it could make it reasonable is having a mini title box like the other cards. They can't put, man, that's the issue, right? It would make it so much less confusing if it was like the Godzilla crossovers. But I don't think you can actually do that, because then you're still putting Marvel IP on the cards. Luckily, I don't play paper Magic anymore. Only Moto for me, so luckily I get to miss the Spider-Man set. Hopefully all Marvel sets. I will also say, the things that I think are bad about the Spider-Man set, and I mentioned this, I think, in the video. I definitely mentioned in the video, I don't think they generalize out to Marvel. This isn't a Marvel problem or even a Spider-Man problem. It's just like a bad set design, changing things at the last minute problem. I just learned today that Aura Shards exist. Oh boy, I'm sorry, Shadow Crushers. Aura Shards is sneakily one of the most miserable cards in Commander. I don't know if I've ever played a game of Commander where an Aura Shards came down, unless I'm the one with the Aura Shards, then it's fine. But when someone else plays an Aura Shards, and have come away from being like, yeah, I'm really glad that card showed up. That was a really fun addition to the game. It's incredibly powerful. It's so powerful. It just absolutely wrecks. It absolutely wrecks certain decks that can't do anything. Did I miss a sub? Oh no. Oh no, who did I miss? The Mega Magic card for the 21st month. My girlfriend gave me an envelope with not to be opened until 2027 on the inside. Inside was a list of reasons I cannot be trusted to follow simple instructions. Welcome back to the Fishbowl Mega Magic card. Hopefully all is well with you. Do you think that, we got to mulligan this, right? We have a lot of the things that we want. We actually have we have the manufacturing, we got the Gargadon, but we ain't got no lands. All right, this is less explosive, but oh boy, this looks like a standard hand. We will try it. I think we just put the mountain to the bottom. Yeah, let's put the mountain to the bottom. All right, let's see how this goes. Shimmick for the 20th. Oh no, it's Amulet. Oh. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat. Thank you. Well, that's scary. Scary. Do we play the Haywire Mite? We're gonna have to Haywire Mite the Amulet if we're still alive. I think we're just gonna play the tap land and pass. I don't think we want to expose the Haywire Mite to like a Beseiju or something. So I think we just hold it, and next turn we're just going to play and activate it and get rid of the Amulet and hope they don't have a second one. Oh, all right, popping off, explore, sure, draws a card. Please not Urza Saga. Urza Sagas be bad because that's another Amulet. Oh, they had the Beseiju. Okay. Well, good thing we did not run out the Haywire Mite. Okay, not dead yet. So we're going to play this Wooded Foothills. We're going to crack this Wooded Foothills. We're going to grab ourselves a Stomping Ground, because if we're going to die against Amulet, we're going to die all the way. That's how that deck works. Haywire Mite and snipe your Amulet. Okay. Amulet 1 down. Pass the turn. Hey, Seth, I have an important question for you. Will you be going to MagicCon Atlanta at the end of the month? Aww. Splunking, that's another Amulet. I do not believe I'm going to Atlanta. There's some outside chance that the week before I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to buy a ticket and I'm going to go. But at this point, I have not made plans to go to Atlanta. I think that Krim is the only one of the Goldfish crew that I know is going to be going to Atlanta. So we can warp Pinnacle Emissary, warp Pinnacle Emissary, warp a second one, make a drone. Bob will make 2 drones, so we get 3 drones. We could also warp Pinnacle Emissary, Cryogeneric, draw cards, make a drone. Bobble, that might be better. Maybe we just go one Emissary. So that's Scalding Tarn. I think that's better than double Emissary. Yeah, I kind of want to play a Relic this turn and see if we can draw into something, because they're going to have a Primeval Titan pretty soon, and that is going to kill us very quickly. So let's just take a mountain, warp the Pinnacle Emissary, play the Relic, draw a card. The other thing, this is my first game with the deck. I'm not sure how aggressively we have to... Oh, so many Pinnacle Emissaries. I'm not sure how aggressively we have to mulligan for combo pieces. I don't know. This might be one of those decks that we really need to, like, pretty aggressively mulligan for combo into combo pieces, but... Well, let's take a peek, see what they got going on. Bobble, Crumbling Vestige. All right. Well, go ahead. I mean, I'm definitely planning on going to Vegas next year. So I'll be at that one. I mean, as far as I can tell for now, for sure. You never know. Life happens sometimes, but definitely planning on being in Vegas. I decided to post on Reddit, starting a discussion about possibly removing the legend rule. Mentioned on this morning's podcast, I can say the response has been less welcome. And overall consensus is it would be spell the death of the game. Interesting. That's a very interesting topic, Joe Geomancer. Well, that's a Primeval Titan. So why do people think, I'm curious what you all think about that first. What do you think of the idea of getting rid of the legend rule in the sense that the legend rule would have no rules implications? So essentially you would still have legends, which would signify that you could play a card as a commander or that it's like a named character that you should pay attention to or whatever. But there wouldn't be any rules implications. Like you could have 2 of the same legend on the battlefield and stuff like that. That wouldn't be an issue. Do you think that would be good or bad? And I'm also very curious, what is the argument that would kill Magic? Is the argument just as simple as people are like, oh, that would mean someone could stack up multiple Thalias or something, and that would probably not be good. The reason why would be a lot of cards that were traditionally not be legendary are legendary now primarily because of Universes Beyond, but also because of Commander. But when you go to a set like Spider-Man, I mean, everything down to a bunch of the commons are named characters. So it just ends up being almost every creature is legendary, which means that legendary doesn't really feel special or signify much. It's just like every creature is, or not every, but like a huge percentage of creatures are legendary. So that would be the reason to change, is just like there's so many legends now. It would kill magic with clone shapeshifter decks. Being able to clone legends would be too powerful. Okay, I could see that maybe. I mean, I think if they did make that change, I think you might have to ban some cards. Like, there might be some legends in the past. So I think traditionally legendary was used as a downside. I don't know that it's used as a downside much anymore. Now I think legendary is kind of flavor text, if that makes sense. Like, I think in the past, Wizards actually used the legend, a creature being a legend, to minimize its power by only letting you have one of those. But now, because so many things are legendary, I don't think that's really true anymore. Maybe in like some cases, but most legends, it's not a power level thing. It's not like, oh, this card is too strong, so it has to be legendary. This is a character that is named, and there's only one of them, so it has to be legendary. I know this is something that Mark wrote. I think we're kind of dead here. That's two Primeval. I mean, we can untap and draw one more card, I guess, but those are two Primeval Titans. I know it's something that Mark Rosewater has talked about for a while, that he would, if he had his way, would make it so legendary was essentially just flavor text and like not have any rules implications. Ooh, Mark Rosewater quit. Let me see. Yeah, that's... I've been saying that legendary being strictly a mechanical downside is a problem for years. Can't you just drop the mechanical baggage and just use it as a story marker, similar to the watermark symbol in some cards, just to let people know it's a character from the story? I would do it in a heartbeat if I could get the majority of R&D to agree. So yeah, Mark Rosewater has been saying this for a decade now, but apparently he hasn't been able to sell the rest of R&D. All right, combo kill from 20. Let's do it. Biotech specialist... I think we're dead. I think we're very dead. Relic and Scoop? Well, this is an inauspicious start for a super cool deck. Oh, Bobble. Yeah, we're just going to Scoop. Hey, welcome, Demetrius Gunn. Good to have you. Welcome to the stream. Oh, let me see your deck, Autism. I remember you posting it. Another deck I've been brewing. All right, what do we have against Titan? So, Stone Brains could get rid of all the Titans if we're fast enough. Torpor Orb shuts down Titan's ETB trigger. What do y'all think about counter spells? Do you think counter spells are worth it to fight Amulet? I'm not sure that they actually are. Hey, what's up, Will? How are you? I'm not sure if they actually are, just because they have Cavern. So I feel like if we go on the counter spell plan, they can easily counter that plan by Cavern, but do you think that Universes Beyond will increase in price over time since they won't be able to reprint certain sets? Yes. Assuming that the IP is popular and it's cards people care about, but I fully expect... My current expectation is they can never reprint the Final Fantasy cards, or the Lord of the Rings cards. They can reprint in-universe versions of them. Something like the Omen Path cards we were looking at. That is a possibility in the future. But I think that is... At this point, my understanding is they can't actually reprint the cards with the IP. And I think cards like Sephiroth or a Tifa or whatever, a lot of the reason they're so expensive isn't that they're good Magic cards, even though some of them are, but it's they're iconic characters that people want to collect. So I imagine that the prices of those cards will just slowly keep going up over time. So that would be my guess. So I think that would be what I would expect to happen. And I'm not convinced that once they reprint in-universe Sephiroth or Omen Path Sephiroth, I don't know if that reprint actually reduces the cost of the original version, because I think the original version is expensive because it's Sephiroth. So if you get Scions of the Sephiroth, that might not actually, be the same thing as far as people buying the cards. Ducky Sausage, yes. Would you ever stream on YouTube? Actually, on my to-do list, I just haven't gotten to it yet because there's a million things on my to-do list. But on my to-do list is get the stream set up so it'll co-stream on both Twitch and on YouTube. So that is in the future. That is part of my plan for the stream is that we will have the stream be both YouTube and Twitch. There's just a couple of technical things of getting the chats to work right and whatnot, but yes, that is definitely my plan. Third World Jesus, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat, thank you. Huh. So this hand, we got the Gargadons. We don't have, I feel like we almost mulligan this. Like, we got no payoffs. We got no Stone Brain. We're going to turn 1 suspend Gargadon, turn 2 draw a card, and we're facing down. I don't know. What do y'all think? Would the YouTube stream be helpful? I think we mulligan it and look for something that actually can... Well, this at least has a Pinnacle Emissary, which is not insane, but it's better than what... We're going to try it. I guess we can turn... All right. Do we even turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary? Maybe turn 2 is better. Turn 1 Surveil, turn 2 Emissary Bobble Boots. Actually, no. Turn 1 Suspend Gargadon. Let's do that. Turn 1 Suspend Gargadon, turn 2 Emissary. Oh, thank you, Third World Jesus. I appreciate it. I definitely do. What are you doing, Bearby? You gonna come see your fans? You gonna come see your fans, bud? Hey, Bear. Come here, bud. You gotta say hi to your fans. Where are you? Here, let's see. Hey, bud. Oh, sit. There. Oh, sit, bud. Sit. People can't see you. There you are. There you are, big boy. How are you? How are you this morning, Bear B? How are you, Big Bear? Are you having a good day? Yeah. Are you going out on your new fence? Yeah. I bet you are. All right. We gotta play Magic, bud. Thank you for coming to the stream. Oh, I have a very boring house question for y'all. So, house question they haven't figured out. So here's my question. It's a bear question, really. So here's the bear question. I put this fence up so Bear can go out in the yard. In the middle of the fenced-in area, there's an old tree stump that is mostly, always with the Amuletless guy. There's an old tree stump that is mostly gone. It's mostly just rotted away over time. Bear loves digging in that area, but there's also a bunch of like ground bees nests in that area, I realized. So when he goes digging there, the bees all start flying all over the place. What do you do about a ground bee's nest? Is there a way to solve, like, I thought there was like poison you can put down to kill the bees, but then I'm afraid it's also going to poison Bear, which would probably not be ideal. So if you know how to get rid of ground bees nests without killing your beloved dog, I'm open to suggestions. Well, this worked out. We drew another free artifact, so we get to play a Pinnacle Emissary. We get to play a Mishra's Bauble. We get to play a Mishra's Bauble. We get to play a Lava Spur Boots. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew, do we just do it? I think we just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I think we do it. Gargadon and Gargadon. This is turn 2 Gargadon. And remember, stuff coming off of Suspend has haste. So we're going to sack all of our lands here. We are all in. On turn 2 Gargadon. Can it beat a Primeval Titan? I don't know if this is enough, but I mean, if this is not enough, what are we even doing with our lives? Gargadon. The reverse flawless victory attempt. Here comes the 9/7. Here comes the beast. Hit you for 11. And all right, opponent. Kill us if you can. Hey, greetings from the US, JRK. Hopefully you're enjoying. Soapy water. Does that actually work? Oh no, double. Oh, that might mean, oh my. Wait, you gotta sack it. But they can untap it first. Oh no. We had to sack our entire board on turn 2 to get a greater Gargadon, and our opponent's just gonna play a Primeval Titan without sacking their board. Boo. Soapy water. I'm gonna have to try some soapy water. You can call him a beekeeper. Oh, wait. Could a beekeeper? I actually know someone who is a beekeeper. I don't think they're honeybee. Well, they look like bees, but they don't look like wasp, just based on like the body type. They look like bees. But I also don't think they're like making a bunch of honey in the old tree stump. I'm just worried about. I actually know someone who keeps bees. They actually have like beehives, and they. I don't remember what he said. I made 50 pounds of honey last year with my beehives or something. So maybe he'll just come over and take them and put them in his. I didn't realize they were the same kind of bees. I guess I assumed that the honeybees were different than the ones that are in the ground. The problem is that Bear, he digs there. And then Bear, he's, as much as I love him, and boy, do I love that dog, he's not that smart though, because Bear, he thinks he can bite away the bees. There's been a couple times he's gotten in a bee's nest, and rather than like running away from the bees, which would be the smart thing to do, Bear just stands there. The bees are flying around him and stinging him, and he just tries to bite them out of the air, which is it's not a good technique. I've tried to tell him that, but he's hard-headed, that dog. Opponent 3 per. Oh, well, okay. Our turn 2 Greater Gargadon, not as impressive at the moment, now that our opponent has 3 turn 2 Primeval Titans. Excited to see you playing Modern, even though you don't like Spider-Man. Do you plan on doing an opening for it? Yes, there will still be a Spider-Man opening. There will still be video content, although I guess video content will be the Omen Pass for the most part, but there'll still be like a Commander Clash. There'll still be an opening, so the normal stuff's still gonna happen. Yeah, Amulet is an absurd Magic deck. It really is. We can scoop now. We're not gonna win this game. Also, chat, I want to ask you about this too. This goes back to the Omen Path thing. So, as I mentioned before, on Arena, we get the Omen Path set. In paper, we get the Spider-Man set. How do you think? Hey, what do you think, Werewolfie? How do you think we should handle this for videos? The best that I have right now is if we do like a podcast or a Commander Clash or kind of the default where we're talking about just Magic in general, we'd use the Spider-Man names. But then when it comes to gameplay content, like if I do a budget Magic, it's going to feature the art in the name of through the Omen Pass card by default, because that's the only thing that exists on Magic Arena or Magic Online. In that context, I think I have to use through the Omen Path names just so people know what's going on. Like basically, let's say I make a Cosmic Spider-Man Against the Odds deck. When I do the deck tech and I do the gameplay, do I call it Cosmic Spider-Man even though that card isn't going to show up in the video? Or do I call it Scions of the Earth Spider, which is a card that doesn't even technically exist in paper? Yeah, if you got ideas, I'm open to it, but that's the best that I have so far. It would be possible to, in the deck tech, mention that it's both of them. I think that during the gameplay, it would be very, very hard and slow to try to, every time you play one of the cards, use 2 names for it. But it would be possible to do both of them in the deck tech, basically. I think my understanding from talking to Richard is this should work pretty seamlessly on the website, where if you go to the website and you get choose a deck from a Magic Online tournament that only has the Omen Path cards, it will automatically be able to convert itself to paper. Or if you have a deck that's from paper and you want to play it on Magic Online, you should be able to still just import it just like you would normally, and it will automatically give you the versions that work on Magic Arena. So hopefully that part will be seamless for players at least. Oh man, I wish this was an untap land and this hand would really pop off, but we can still kind of pop off with Pinnacle Emissary turn 2 maybe. Yeah, I think you gotta at least mention the Omen Pass versions. I guess drawing an untap land here would actually be spectacular. Fetch land? That works. All right, so Scalding Tarn. Crack us a Scalding Tarn. snag us a breeding pool untapped. And, all right, let's do a little warp in. Pinnacle Emissary. Warp it. Mishra's Bauble. Make a drone. We don't really need 2 Greater Gargadons, but this hand is good enough that it's still, I think, worth it. Mishra's Bauble. Make a drone. Clovgix. Make a drone. And Pestern. I mean, not a bad turn one. Not a bad turn one. The question is, do we crack the baubles? I think we probably do. Do we crack the baubles, or do we keep them for Gargadon purposes? If you want to do a standard gameplay video using the Spider-Man cards instead of Omen, you do paper gameplay video with you and Crim. I would absolutely love that. That's something that could work, Joe, on rare occasions. But with Crim and I each doing like 3 gameplay videos a week, so we have something going up daily on the YouTube, I don't think it would be practical to do that for all the decks during Spider-Man season. It would just, I don't think it would actually be practical, unfortunately. Yeah, Clovgix is a cool card that people forget about. Polluted Delta on top. Are we about to get... do we crack both? Let's just crack one. Are we going to get Bowmastered? No. So we draw a land. Well, go to combat. Hit you with the drones. That's step 1. Pound it. Down to 17. And then we will play a Spire Bluff. Suspend a Gargadon. Pestered. Hey, come on to reality. You should definitely use the Spider-Man cards and names for the title and the thumbnail. And mention using the Omen Pass versions in the deck tech. You need to maintain SEO. Yeah, that might be true. That might be true. The titles and stuff, I think, will be... Malcolm? We're playing in Modern? Huh, okay. Interesting. I was afraid of the Bowmasters. I was not expecting a Malcolm, but fair enough. Is our opponent about to discard some reanimation target and wreck us? Opponent gets it. Hits us. Loots. Oh, we could have blocked that with a drone, too. All right, just loots away a land. That's fine. What deck have you been brewing, Autism? And a Thought Seize. Yeah, that's fine. We already got a Greater Gargadon. Misty Raid Forest. You know what? Let's crack the bauble. At this point, I think they do not have Bowmasters, so let's do it. Crack the bauble. Sheoldred's Edict on top. Good to know about that one. All right, we get to untap. We get to draw 2. We get to take down our Gargadon. Tormod's Crypt, Pinnacle Emissary. Okay. So... let's just... We know they're drawing Sheoldred's Edict unless they fetch. So getting Gargadon will just end up dying. Unless we win. They can also still counter Gargadon. It's not uncounterable. Let's just warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Warp the Emissary. Ooh, Weapons Manufacturing Thopter Sword sounds sweet. Opponent gonna crack the fetch. Some of the arena replacement art is left over from other sets, and you can tell specifically the Bloomburrow ones are absolutely gorgeous. There are some really nice art pieces there. Opponent. All right, they had a counter, so they're going to counter spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're 1 short. All right, let's Thundering Falls. Keep the Ichor Wellspring. Go to combat. I think we get in with 2 drones. Because this would make a single Gargadon attack lethal. Hit you to 9, pass the turn. Well, let me see autism. Esper Luris, eh? It's always a fun challenge to try to build a commander deck around a companion. Although I kind of hate Luris because it's so cheaty. Although this actually, it looks like everything is actually, even your spells are actually cheap enough, which I can respect that. If Luris was all spells instead of just permanents, I think it would be a harsher restriction. That's a cool idea. I like it. Opponent, combat, opponent. Are we getting in there, Malcolm? What are your opinions of the name translations for Spider-Man? Do you feel that they've chosen the appropriate universe names for each card? In-universe names? If not, what names would you have used? I think that it's the best that they could have realistically done in a pretty tough situation. I wasn't sure what direction they were going to go. I think I liked the direction that they went. One option was to just essentially make it a throwaway set and be like, Spider Person number 1, Spider Person number 2, Spider Person number 3, Spider Person number 4, something like that with stick figures, or that would be the cheapest, worst version of it. The names that they did, I think, considering just like how messy all of this is, it's not like earth-shaking or innovative or anything like that, but I feel like it's fine. Like, I don't know. The cards seem like they could be actual cards that existed. Like, they look like any arena card or alchemy card to me, so I wonder if some of this had to be new art. Like, could Arachnomania, one of my favorite art pieces, is that just extra art they had sitting around, or did they actually commission the art for that? So we draw Ichor Wellspring. Opponent still leaving mana up. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's 1, 2, 3. Let's Pinnacle Emissary. Full price. Tormod's Crypt. Trigger Emissary. Wow, this is the card that our opponent's gonna actually have to counter? Oh, they get a Surveil. Okay, opponent gets a Surveil. I still feel like they could be reanimating stuff. Like, why are you playing Malcolm if you're not reanimating? All right, Fatal pushes the Pinnacle Emissary, so in response, we will sack it to the Gargadon. Wooded Foothills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's just keep chipping in with the drones. I don't think we're gonna go all in on Gargadon yet. Next turn we might go big with Gargadon. Let's get in with 2 of the drones. Hit you. Opponent's gonna block. That's fine. Malcolm goes away. All right, and we will pass the turn. I mean, so far I don't even know what our opponent's doing. Like, what is their game plan? Is this just like a weird control deck? I'm not even sure what their game plan is. Well, let's crack the Wooded Foothills. Grab us a Surveil land. Ooh, Oh, that's Biotech. That's Biotech. All right, opponent, do you have a counter? I mean, our opponent, if they do not counter this, they do die on the spot. 1 and 2. Finally, the Biotech specialist. Do we have a counter, opponent? Do we have a counter? Spell Snare, okay. They do have a counter. How about an Ichor Wellspring? How do we feel about an Ichor Wellspring, opponent? I mean, this is kind of working. It's kind of working at the moment, opponent. Are we dying to a Greater Gargadon? Man, I love Greater Gargadon. I love Magic. Have I mentioned that recently? That I really like this game. I think it might stick around for a bit. But not do I have to say, my most favorite deck I ever built, my Super Friends deck with Yumori Companion. I unfortunately didn't get to play it much, as people don't like reading it. I could see that. So we get to draw a Ichor Wellspring. Well, we might as well sack Ichor Wellspring. Draw a card. Oh, it's a Mox, okay. Well, sack Klovgix. I think we're going for it. Like, we're going to make our opponent have... They're going to have an answer to this Gargadon. Mox. Sack it. 3. 2. 1. Oh, the question is, does Tormod's Crypt matter? Man, if we die because of this, I'm going to be sad, but all right. We're going to sack. I think we need to keep 2 lands for the relic. Well, play the Gargadon. Do we have another counter? No. Combat. They did shuffle their deck, so we don't know that they have Sheoldred's Edict. Although they could still have removal. An opponent scoops it up. World Champion NA! Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 4th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super here for you. Thank you. Hey, Seth. PBK8 Saffron Olive. Just watch your Who Wore It Better short, and I've got to say, I love the arena versions. Excited to proxy some of them to put my Shelob EDH deck, plus has me hyped for playing arena. How are you today? I'm doing well. I also really like some of the arena versions. One of the things about the Spider-Man set is, even though I think it's a not good set structurally, like the choices around the set, which I talked about in the video, so I'm not going to go on a huge thing on this, but different versions, not being focused on traditional drafting, so many cards with a similar name. I think those structural issues are, what I think makes this set bad. I actually like a lot of the designs in the set, though. Like, a lot of the individual cards, there's actually a chunk of them that I think that's actually a really cool, fun design. And that's actually one of the things I like about Universes Beyond, is I think sometimes... And maybe it's designs that would have happened eventually anyway, but I think sometimes we get cool designs that maybe wouldn't have happened, or at least not have happened in the near future, because they're Universes Beyond, and they're trying to do a top-down design of a character, like Mr. Negative or whatever, and the end result ends up being super cool. Then you also have the other side of that coin, which is sometimes the focus on making things based on the other IP leads to choices that I really dislike, like Mary Jane, for example, not being playable in any spider deck because it's a white card, because it's got Selesnya mana. So it's really a mixed bag, I guess, on that end. Yeah, Suspend just, it's not the most intuitive mechanic, but Suspend just always gives haste. When the thing comes off Suspend, that was actually one of the... Is every Magic card design inevitable? I mean, on a long enough timeline, right? Like, if the game's going 1,000 years from now, 1,000,000 years from now, sooner or later, wouldn't you put every combination of words? I mean, maybe not, because new words keep being created, so maybe it would just evolve with the rest of the world, but on a long enough timeline, wouldn't you do everything eventually? I think. I don't even know how we want to sideboard against this deck. We did not see much. We saw some control stuff. Opponent's going to be on the play. I mean, maybe we just want Metallic Rebukes. Yeah, let's try some Rebukes. Something like that. Oh no, don't get me started, Jonathan, about hybrid mana in Commander. I am also a big and firm believer that, man, this hand would be so pop-offy if this was not an Urza Saga. Can we keep this? So turn 1 Urza Saga, Mox. I don't think we can keep this. So close. It's so close. Oh, no. Okay. Lots of cool cards, no lands. Oh, man. I don't. I'm too boomery to get Skibbity Toilet. What is okay? Help me with this, chat, because I know a lot of you are also, at least some of you are also a little boomery too. What would be the equivalent of Skibbity Toilet in our generation? Because I think Skibbity Toilet is just like a Generation Alpha type thing, right? Like what is the equivalent? I'm trying to think. Is it like Beanie Babies or something? Ren and Stimpy? What would the equivalent? Ren and Stimpy, I could see that. The Badger song, okay. Crazy. Okay, great. Pauly Shore. Oh no. Oh no. Speaking of the old days, I actually did any of you watch the second Happy Gilmore, the new Happy Gilmore? I will say it was not as bad as I was imagining. There was definitely a lot of nostalgia baited there, but it was actually not that bad. Oh, Beavis, man, I used to love Beavis and Butthead, and then they tried to bring it back, and I tried to watch some of the new episodes, and I think it was definitely something to do with just like the culture and time of the 90s, because Beavis and Butthead trying to do their thing in like 2023 or whatever it was, it didn't really work for me. And I have a lot of nostalgia for Beavis and Butthead. Does it still have your neighbor Shooter McGavin? Oh, his family is friends with my little brother, so he doesn't live here specifically, but yes, Scooter McGavin was still in it. Oh, Rocco's Modern Life. I think that might also be true. Like now that we're 20 years into the internet era, I think stuff like Beavis and Butthead might not be as shocking as it was in the 90s or whatever. Now let's take down our Gargadon. We draw another Bobble. Well, that's Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Man, they're going to counter it, aren't they? All right, let's play a Bobble. We play the Bobbles first in case they don't counter the Biotech Specialist. Then we can get damage out of them. Although they might just counter it. Biotech, no counter. Don't you be Spell Snare an opponent. Hi. All right. Can you sack more cards than the number of time counters on Gargadon? No. Actually, wait. Can you? I don't think so. Man, it's been a while since I played with Gargadon. Am I wrong, chat? I feel like you can't, but I could be wrong. What's new with you? Hey, what's new with you, Stone Rain? How are things? Not much. I mean, complaining about Spider-Man, massacring myself, trying to put up a fence for Bear. Pretty typical day in the life. Well, let's crack a Bobble. Opponent has a Bloodstained Mire on top. Well, let's crack a Bobble. I guess we'll see what we're drawing just in case. Arcbound Ravager. Okay, better if we had some artifacts, but well, we're gonna draw a few cards. Take down the Gargadon. Apparently people just don't play Orcish Bowmasters anymore. Ooh. Weapons manufacturing. All right, let's see how many counters our opponent actually has. Let's play an Urza Saga. And let's 1-2. How about a weapons manu? Can we resolve some of our cool standard cards about it? Please. Spell Snare, Counter Spell, Part 2. All right, opponent, big believer in the... Oh, it's like we're playing against Grim. I swear we're playing against Grim. Hoping to get some of the spice from the Spider-Man bonus sheet. The bonus sheet's so cool. They did such a good job with that. What are you making content about, Stone Rain? Is it Star Wars? About it. Undercity Sewers. I saw a stat the other day that Generation Z, so like the generation that's growing up now, like teenagers and so forth and going to college, that 65% say they are content creators, which is kind of wild. I hadn't really thought about it, but in a world where the main social media, it's kind of funny because like the old person social media, you have Facebook, which is like the grandparents' social media. Then you got like the Twitter era in there, Twitter, Reddit, which I think is kind of millennial stuff. And then you have for the youngest generation, it's TikTok and Instagram, which is all like content based. It's all videos, and you're like, essentially your daily life is creating content. That's how you make friendships now. That's how you meet people now. So in some sense, everyone. See, I've never done LinkedIn. I don't even know. I know LinkedIn is like business social media, but I've never done anything on LinkedIn. But it's kind of wild that like a lot of kids say they're content creators now. And I guess if you think about it, they actually kind of are. Isn't that funny that the Instagram is either for boomers or zoomers? There's no in between. Oh man, MySpace. Tom. Whatever happened to Tom? Is Tom like a billionaire? Is he like a Zuckerberg and just actually I want to know what happened. What does Tom do now? I'm actually going to Google this because I'm super curious. What happened to Tom from MySpace? Tom from MySpace. He retired in 2009 after selling MySpace for millions to pursue his passion for travel photography. He got $580 million and he attended Burning Man and decided to travel the world and take pictures. All right. Well, good on you, Tom. Okay, so what do we do now? We can make constructs. I mean, I guess we just make a construct. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just pass. I don't really see the point of playing things into the counter spells. I remember, man. I remember when MySpace, when that was like, I'm glad this doesn't exist. I mean, maybe it does in some form and some social media, but do you remember like subtlety, eh? Do you remember like where your friends were positioned on MySpace was like a really big deal? And like, I remember being young and like you'd get pissed at one of your friends and you like drop them down a couple spots, or you meet someone and like have fun and like whatever, like hanging out with them and you move them up a couple spots. And that was like an actual thing, like where people were in your top friends was like, that was like ruining friendships. People, yeah, if you make it in the top 8, people, that was like a real thing. Oh. LinkedIn posts are by far the weirdest on all social media. They are basically satire about HR people. Just that it is real. Yeah, I don't really get it. I'm gonna have to do at some point. Not yet. So I think I mentioned that I got a keyboard again, like a music keyboard, and I haven't had a keyboard. I haven't had a keyboard like a real keyboard in years since I've had a real keyboard. So I've started practicing again every day, working on some piano stuff. At some point soon, we're gonna do a little piano. Maybe not a whole stream of piano, but I'm gonna break out the keyboard and play some songs because oh man, I miss playing keyboard and it's super fun. I don't know if you know any tips for getting subs. I have a schedule and I'm definitely myself. So what's the best way to get subs? Having a schedule, that's a big one. Being yourself, I think, is also a big one. Although what do we do here? Do we just construct again? Yeah, let's just construct again. Oh, see, I don't really listen to like classical too much. Actually, my favorite pianist would probably be someone like Scott Joplin or something, like some ragtimey old west bar music type stuff. I don't really like classical. I'm more interested in like playing the Mario theme or something like stuff like that. I enjoy. But the song I've been working on, the peak of my piano playing career, The hardest song I think I ever learned was Root Beer Rag by Billy Joel. I don't know if you ever heard that song. And there's some really bad versions of it, and I actually kind of hate Billy Joel's music. But this one song is a really good piano song. It's a really good piano song. So that song I've been relearning that. So that once I get that back down, I think that's when I know I'm going to be ready to do a little stream with some piano stuff. What are we taking here? I'm sorry, opponent. I'm distracted by my love of music. Lava Spur Boots. Pithing Needle. I guess we could Pithing Needle their Flooded Strand. That doesn't seem that great. We already have an Opal. I mean, I guess we just take... Yeah, let's just take a Bobble. That's fine. Take a Bobble. Play a Mox Opal. Grow the Constructs. Gargadon is an ability. Let's go to combat. Hit you with a Construct. Opponent. Going to Fatal Push, so we will sack it to the Gargadon. It does always feel nice to have a Gargadon in exile. Just fizzles so many removal spells. Opponent gonna get the Surveil Land. Leaves it on top. Okay, I kind of want to know what they're drawing now. All right, so opponent takes 0. Although we can very likely get a Gargadon next turn. We could, like, Legend Rule ourselves to play a Biotech. I think we're just going to wait. Let's pass. We're going to crack the Bobble because I want to know what they left on top with the Surveil Land. Even though having it on the battlefield for Biotech would be nice. But this information's kind of important. Fire Magic. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. Sure. Oh, it's a Bowmaster. All right. Well, we should have sacked a Gargadon there. That was a bit of a mistake. So we know our opponent's going to play a Bowmaster. Opponent gets in, hits us. We're going to draw an extra card. That's going to trigger the Bowmaster. Wow, they did not. Okay, I guess we're even on the punts then. Opponent decides not to play the Bowmaster for some reason. Well, we will 1-2. Play a Biotech Specialist. Make a Lander token. Play a Thundering Falls. Keep a Bobble. Oh, if only we can make mana with this. Do we just pass? I think we just pass. And we do the thing next turn. I think next turn is the big turn. So we just pass. We sit back with our Biotech Specialist. So Stone Rain, what is the... I'm sorry for not for not getting back to your question, Stone Rain. I got distracted by the game. So what is the best ways to get subs? I wish there was some great trick to it. The biggest thing I would say is that my experience with YouTube is that subs actually aren't especially important, and that just making the best content you can is more important, because one thing I've learned is, like, and maybe this is somewhat different for us because we're just, like, already established, so maybe that's part of it. But one thing I've been shocked by is, like, when we started the opening channel or the podcast channel, I think the podcast channel was the biggest one. We did the podcast on the main channel with, like, 300,000 subs, and it would normally get, like, 20,000 views or something, which was fine because we were mostly doing it to be an audio cast anyway, so it wasn't supposed to be, like, a high view thing. But when we switched it to a brand new channel, 0 subs, brand new channel, and my expectation was, oh, we're going to get like hardly any views, right? Like there's no subs. It's a brand new channel. And it actually ended up going up in views somehow, even though the channel still doesn't really have that many subs, but there's actually more views on the 0 sub channel than there was on the 300,000 sub channel. So I think that subs are actually, in a weird way, kind of overrated at the moment. And it's actually just more important to be consistent and make the best content you can. Well, all right, opponent. Let's see, my friend, if you drew a counter spell. Let's play a Biotech number 2. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let's have a little fun. We are going to tap this for a mana, and then we're gonna sack it to Greater Gargadon. We're gonna burn you for 4. Biotech coming off. Play a Mishra's Bauble. Play a Mox Opal. Play a Arcbound Ravager. And I believe this is game. This should just be the game. Gargadon. Let's sack us a lander token. Burn ya. Gargadon. So you can respond to Gargadon with itself. Sack. Gargadon. Let's sack this Opal. Gargadon. Let's sack this Bauble. Yeah, that's probably good enough. All right, opponent. How do you like our Biotech specialist? Opponent down to 9. Gargadon. Removing counters. Opponent down to 7. Opponent down to 5. And that should be the game. And I don't know what our opponent's even playing, but that went super smooth. That actually felt really good. Yeah, I actually think that subs on YouTube are more just like a flex. People care about that because it's a number and you can be like, I have more of them. It's like a scoreboard thing. Like, scoreboard, I have more subs than you. But in reality, as far as like people watching your content, I don't think it's actually especially important. I've been a big Spider-Man fan my entire life, and this had made me realize a few things. The first, I thought it would be a really hype. I thought I would be really hyped for Spider-Man, but I'm mostly frustrated that they butchered the UB I was most looking forward to. Second, as much as I love Spider-Man, through the Omen Pass, I realized I love Magic much more. Yeah, the through the Omen Pass thing I think is going to be awkward for Wizards, just because it does give you another example of what the set can look like. And if you're someone who's on the I don't like Universes Beyond side, it gives you cards that you can point to and be like, this is how the card should look, or this is how I want the card to look. So it ends up being like kind of awkward, I think, on Wizards' end. So let me ask you, Basic Forest, something I've been wondering about with the Spider-Man set. Were you expecting it to be, as a Spider-Man fan, and this goes for all of you, I'm actually curious what you all think about this. If you're someone who knows Spider-Man, is this kind of what you were expecting out of this set or not? So as someone who doesn't really know Spider-Man, but I know, Peter Parker and like that kind of Spider-Man a little bit, I think the expectation I had in my head was it's like Peter Parker fighting against villains. And we got a little bit of that, but then we also just got all the multiverse stuff. I guess the question is, were you expecting this to be like a multiverse set where it was a whole bunch of different Spider-Men throughout the multiverse? Or were you expecting more of a like Peter Parker or Miles or like a couple of the most well-known Spider-Man versus villains? Because I think maybe part of it's just I just had the wrong expectations for this set. And I was expecting something which is definitely not the direction Wizards was actually going with the set. I think that wasn't there supposed to be another Into the Spider-Verse that like released around now or something? I don't think we're gonna win any die rolls today. We're 0 for die rolls. Wasn't there supposed to be another Into the Spider-Verse out? Because that would probably make way more sense as well. Yeah, I think we just Scalding Tarn pass. I don't know what we want to. Yeah, we're gonna pass. I don't know what to Pithing Needle in the dark. So maybe it would have made way more sense if there was just. Opponent's gonna Thoughtseize. Maybe it would have made way more sense if there was just everyone's talking about this new Spider-Verse with all these Spider-Men. Maybe it would have made way more sense if we got the original release schedule. I remember that happening with Baldur's Gate, right? They made the Baldur's Gate set, and it was still okay, and people kind of liked it. But it was supposed to line up with the release of the video game, but the video game got delayed, so you ended up having the set, and then like a year later, we actually got the game, and then I was like, oh my god, this is so cool! Wow, look at all these cards. If it had lined up properly, I think the initial reaction to Baldur's Gate probably would have been way more hyped. So we have seen cases where Wizards has kind of gotten wrecked by schedules of the other IP changing. Oh, do we even want a bobble? We kind of want to land to play a Biotech specialist. Yeah, I think we put it in the graveyard. Well, there's a Gargadon. Well, let's play the Urza Saga. Let's suspend a Gargadon. So what could this deck be? Golgari and Modern. Yog's not really a popular thing anymore. What deck? What deck would have Blooming Marsh in Thoughtseize? Not Living End. I just don't know if there's something that we can... If there's something that we can Pithing Needle here, or if we just got to keep holding it in hopes of finding it eventually. Oh, wait, Lantern? Are they Lantern? Oh, man. Wait, is Lantern? Oh, people are playing Lantern. Oh, we're going to have to play some Lantern. We're going to have to play some Lantern. I love Lantern. Lantern is such a cool deck. I really want to do, speaking of video essays, I really want to do a creation of Lantern video. Actually, wait, did Sam do that? Ristic Studies might have already did that. I'll have to watch his video and make sure mine would be different, but I really want to do a video about Lantern Control, because I love the story of how the deck was created and how it was like essentially this deck that like was put together on MTG Salvation and Zach Elsick and these people in the forums. Like, no one knew about this deck, and they basically put it together in the forums, and Zach Elsick started playing it at tournaments, and then eventually it like kind of caught on and then became like a pro tour winning deck, and then that's the history. I'll have to check Sam's video. I don't know if he get dug into like the MTG Salvation stuff and like the creation of it, or if it was more just like general stuff about Lantern. If it's the same thing as Sam did, I probably won't make the video then. But I think it's a very interesting story. So hey, they are a Lantern deck. Lantern confirmed. That's a Soul Guide Lantern. Opponent going to Thoughtseize us. I mean, I guess we could just name Verdant Catacombs. We kind of desperately want to draw land here. Wow, they got rid of the needle. We kind of desperately want to draw land for this Urza Saga. Tick down the Gargadon. All right, that's a land. That works. Well, let's Stomping Grounds untapped. What is our buddy at? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we just play Biotech, or do we... How much do we care about constructs? You know what? I think we just play Biotech. Get down the Biotech, get a lander. Start setting up the synergies. Pass the turn. Hey Seth, watch your Spider-Man video today and wanted to let you know that I appreciate your honest critique. Also, I agree with you that yucking someone's young is cringe. Thanks for your hard work as always. Yeah, the yucking someone's young thing. I probably could do a whole video talking about that just because I think it's interesting. It's just so far. This really is Lantern, isn't it? That's ancient stirrings. I think so. Yucking someone's young. My understanding is it was actually started as a literal term about food, where you would tell people you shouldn't like that because you didn't like it, type of thing. So you're literally saying a food that someone else thought was yummy was yucky, essentially. So that's what it started from. And I actually think that's a pretty reasonable take, right? Like, I think it is kind of messed up to, because you don't like something, tell someone else they shouldn't like something. I think that's wrong and not very respectful. It's Lantern. It really is Lantern. It's Lantern Control. Aw. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think we can quite do it this turn. All right, let's see what we draw. But then it's kind of morphed into... something where people use it a lot, in my opinion, to mean you said you don't like something that I like. And I don't think that that's the correct usage of that phrase. If I say I think Spider-Man is a bad set and you say I really like Spider-Man, that's fine. We have different perspectives on something. On the other hand, if I said I think it's wrong that you like Spider-Man because I don't like Spider-Man, that's where I think you would be yucking someone's yum and it would actually be a negative thing. So we're at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this just works, right? So we can make a construct. We can sack to Gargadon. We still have the trigger on the stack. So we can sack the land to Gargadon. We tutor. We get a doesn't especially matter. Let's get a Haywire Might. Gargadon. Sack the claw. This is a combo kill, isn't it? Down to 14. Sack the lander. Down to 12. Sack the might. Down to 10. Sack the construct. Down to 9. And sack the land. And sack the land. Greater Gargadon. This deck is actually sick. This deck is so sweet. Oh, this deck is so cool. It's kind of working. What was that, turn 4? Turn 4 Greater Gargadon Biotech Specialist skill. I actually really like the idea of this deck. And I love that someone's playing Lantern. We should be allowed to dislike something. For example, as a Dolphins fan, I really dislike the Bills. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't like them, but you really shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I think that both liking and disliking something is just like a natural and legitimate human emotion. But it's okay that people have different emotions and different feelings. We do with Snake in Standard. Yeah, it would be cool to make something like this in Standard. I mean, I guess you could try to do something similar. I think the biggest lack in Standard, so we have the Biotech Specialist, so we got weapons manufacturing. The cheap artifacts are less explosive. You actually have to spend a little bit of mana on your artifacts. There's not the, Mox Opals and Mishra Bobble effects. And then the sack outlet, you got to kind of go in black probably for Umbral Collar Zealot, but actually I don't want to be too mean to the Dolphins, but I will admit that every once in a while on Sundays when football's going on, I'll look at the scores and then I don't know if any of you use like the SB Nation blog sites. I don't know. That's like the blog site that when I catch up on the Buffalo Bills news and I've used forever. But every once in a while, I'll look and I'll see a score and I'll be like, I just got to see what the other team's fans are saying about this or how miserable they are about this game. And the Dolphins were definitely the team where I saw the score on Sunday. I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go over to their SB Nation and just read the comments. I just got to see see what the Dolphin fans are saying. And oh boy, were they kind of miserable. Yeah, the Bills, I still cannot believe they won that game. I still cannot believe they won that game. That was one of the games that they had literally no business winning. None whatsoever. But they got there. That was a really good game. What else are we cutting? So the consigns are good. Stonebrain is interesting at least. Maybe go down the claw. I guess we can go down a relic. Let's just try it like that. That's fine. Someone should do a video about how old sets used to have a distinct art style and direction, while new sets all look samey and PG friendly. I always go back to music, just because that's what I have known and loved. To me, that seems kind of natural in a weird way. Oh man, if we don't get hit by Thoughtseize, this hand's actually really nice. Warp the Emissary. Oh man, yeah, if we don't get Thoughtseize or Inquisition, this hand's awesome. If we do get Thoughtseize or Inquisition, We'll see. How about just a Surveil land opponent? Get that. Ooh, Fomori Vault. Well, you can't Thoughtseize off that. Pixis of Pandemonium. Okay. Okay. All right, let's have a little pop off here. So we will draw a Pithing Needle. All right, so what we do here, we play a Scalding Tarn, we crack a Scalding Tarn. We will snag us a, this is going to be a big turn one. We are going to grab a Steam Vents. Untapped. So now we warp a Pinnacle Emissary for 1 mana. We play a Mishra's Bauble. Make a drone. We play a Mox Opal. Make a drone and a mana. We play a Springleaf Drum. Make a drone. And then we tap a drone to play a Pithing Needle and name Pixis. All right. I mean, I think that was a pretty decent turn one. That was not bad. Not bad for turn one. Your go, opponent. Your go. Also, having a bunch of 1/1's pretty good against Ensnaring Bridge, which is nice. So, going back to the everything looking the same art style, I feel like that's like, in some ways, a natural progression of a brand that's trying to reach a broader audience. The way I see a lot of what's happened with Magic, and I think a lot of the things that longtime Magic players get upset about, I think what it comes down to is, for a long time, Magic was kind of a niche game. And the goal of Magic is to no longer be a niche game now. It's to be a pop culture phenomena that everyone knows what it is. And the art style and direction that was beloved when Magic was a niche game is not going to be, oh, I wanted that Biotech, is not going to be the same art style that's going to appeal to a mass audience, which requires, I don't think dumbing down is the right word. Maybe it is the right word, but it's kind of the appeal to the lowest common denominator. You want to make something that no one's going to be offended by, everyone's going to think is okay. That's just how doing something for everyone works. And it's a process I've seen with bands time and time again, where bands go from making a specific style of music for a niche but super devoted audience, and then they decide, we want to make music that's on the radio and music that's for everyone, not just our niche audience. And that requires making a different style of music a lot of times, which the long-term niche audience fans are not necessarily going to like. Weezer's a classic example of this, where you go from Weezer being a band that had kind of this up-and-coming niche, almost indie style band that decided they were going to become this huge radio band, and they changed their style. It worked. And there's some people who love early Weezer, some people who love late Weezer, but there's definitely people who loved early Weezer when they were a niche band that didn't like their for everyone music as much once they went that way. I mean, and that's the risk of it, right? The risk of it is, if you try to make everyone happy, you might end up making no one happy. And that's the risk, the failed aspect of that can happen. I'm going to be introducing a new format on Friday that's hilarious. The TLDR is, you build the worst deck you can, and a random person uses the deck you made, and you get someone else's random deck they made. I'm making a draft with rules. You could probably do it with MTG also. Ooh, that's funny. We have done kind of Commander Clash before, like giving each other troll decks, which is probably the closest thing I could think that. We do lose all of our biotechs, which is annoying. Well, let's play a land. I mean, I guess we just 1, 2, 3. I guess we just play the Pinnacle Emissary and start getting in there with 1/1s. Hit you to 12. Pass the turn. How bad is it once they find a bridge? Does that just beat us? I mean, they don't have any top deck manipulation yet. Technically, we can win in 2 more turns if they don't find a bridge. Opponent gonna Inquisition the Ichor Wellspring. All right. I mean, they play a lot of discard. That is the Lantern way. about it. That is a cool idea. Opponent's going to Pithing Needle. Well, in response, we're going to crack the Bobble. Oh, that's a Lantern on top. Okay. That's not good for us. Although they don't have any pieces to go with it. The bridge is a real problem. If they don't find a bridge or a sweeper, we just kill them. Well, we know they're not drawing a bridge next turn. They're drawing a Lantern. So maybe we just win. Hopefully, we get to draw an extra card. Well, there's a Gargadon. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we play the Mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9. Wait, do we have Xaxes? I think we win. Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. I mean, I think this works. We're gonna go for it. 1. And wait, where'd you go? Where is... All right, there's a Gargadon. All right, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And here comes a Hasty Boy. And that looks like exactly 12 damage to me. This deck is sick. This deck is so sweet. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. We keep getting like almost reverse flawless victories where we just sacrifice all of our lands. That was turn 3. That was turn 3 Greater Gargadon coming down with haste for the combo kill. And the kids might be eating. They might be eating. We're up to 2 and 1. Not bad. Not bad at all. They should have needled Gargadon. They really should have. You can needle Gargadon, I believe. I mean, so far so good. So far so good for this deck. Let me ask you another serious question, Chad, as we go into our next game here. Does me saying that I think a set like Spider-Man is bad, does it hurt your enjoyment of the set? Because I really hope it doesn't. I really hope. That's something I worry about. Because even if I think something... I'm someone... I talked about in the video where... like Gargadon beating Lantern, where I like a lot of things that I know other people don't like. And you not liking that thing isn't going to make me like that thing less. But I also, like, I don't want to accidentally make you like something less when I'm just expressing my opinion on it. So please don't take it that way. You can dislike something and I can like something, or vice versa, and we can still be friends. We can still be friends. I think that's a good way to look at it, Jonathan. Like, if you like something, ideally it shouldn't matter what other people think. I like people's views on everything. Yeah, I think that's a good way to handle things. That's how I like to handle things, at least. I'm curious if they're going to do an early access. I've been going back and forth, wondering if they're going to do an early access. On one hand, they always do an early access. On the other hand, is Wizards going to think it's too weird to have an early access for Through the Omen Pass when the set is actually Spider-Man? So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get early access for this one or not. I hope there's an early access. Oh, we actually have a weapons manufacturing draw. Okay. I think we gotta wait on... Oh, don't Thoughtseize this. I think we gotta wait and try to pop off with weapons manufacturing next turn. And we have a Ravager to go with it. This hand's interesting. So turn 1... So if we turn 1 Boots... Oh, it's Eldrazi. So let's think about this. We turn 1 the Boots. Turn 2... We can weapons manufacturing, Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble. Turn 3, Ravager, equip boots. So I think it makes sense to play boots turn 1, right? Even though it's one less trigger in the long run, I think it's worth it. Yeah, let's play Das Lava Spur boots. Pass the turn. You think we are? I hope we are. If you had to pick, what card are you most interested in from the Spider-Man set? I actually think, and I've said this a bunch of times, as far as individual cards, there's actually a bunch of cards in the set I like. That's not the part of the set I'm critical of. I actually think the individual card design is perfectly fine. Like, it seems like any other set. Like, yeah, there's a lot of Spider stuff, but it's Spider-Man. So on an individual card design level, I actually kind of like a decent chunk of the set. I think, oh boy, Ugin, Under the Labyrinth, and a Mind Stone, and a Relic. That doesn't really matter. All right, well, opponent, passing. We draw Wooded Foothills. Well, let's just play Breeding Pool, untapped. Get down a weapons manufacturing. Play a Mishra's Bauble. Make a munitions. Is there a way we win next turn? Is it possible we win next turn with Ravager? So we get a munitions. Mox Opal. Get a munitions. Pass the turn. So if we play Ravager, yeah, opponent's at 20. So we can play Ravager, haste Ravager. 4 damage, 5, 6. Yeah, we're not actually very close to lethal. But as far as, wow, opponent has a lot of fast mana. As far as individual cards I really like, Mr. Negative stands out as one that I think is going to be really fun to build around. Oh, this just wrecks us. Oh, no. Yeah, well, man, Modern's in a powerful place. That's just straight up turn 2 Karn with mana left over. Opponent's got a Flesh Rake on top. Well, now we basically have to draw Gargadon. Oh, my goodness. Karn ticks up. Eats the Mox. Yeah, this is the nightmare. Oh, no. Karn is just a card we cannot beat, opponent. Passes. We get to draw with Bauble. Relic. Pinnacle Emissary. Well, okay. Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Grab a Steam Vents untapped. Warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Make a munitions. Play a Relic. Make a munitions and a drone. Draw a card. We need a Gargadon. Scalding Tard. All right, well, that's what we got. We're making munitions. They're just going to be tough to, man. Oh, we're in a really bad spot. Karn is just really bad for our deck. But I think Mr. Negative is one of the cards that stand out. I like pretty much all the flip cards. I think are very interesting with their front sides. I think are like playable enough. And then the back sides I think can be pretty strong in the right deck. So those are cards I'm excited for. The Mayhem Mechanic, I'm excited to build around. Not really an individual card, but I think it's going to be interesting to see if we can build a deck around it. Doc Ock's Tentacles, I think, is an interesting design that can do some things. Electro would be a card I'd be excited about, but it's just kind of like Vivi at home, and I'm kind of sick of Vivi, so the fact that it probably just goes into the deck that I don't really like is kind of killing it for me. I think Hide on the Ceiling is one of the best commander cards from the set and could have 60 card implications. So there's actually a lot. Like Moreland, I think, is really cool, especially in commander, but could be fine in standard. Opponent's going to Thought Knots here and take our Arcbound Ravager. I mean, if we find a Gargadon, we still got a shot. Opponent. Oh no. Okay. Our shot is decreasing as opponent finds a liquid metal coating. Opponent going to pass. Gargs, we need a Gargs. Opponent's going to stun one of our lands. We draw nothing. Scalding Tard, crack Scalding Tard. Grab a Mountain and a Pinnacle Emissary. Make a Munitions. And chipping at Karn for 1. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Soulstone, I'm actually like... So Soulstone, I think it's like an auto include basically in Mono Black Commander decks. But beyond that, like, I also think it's very replaceable. I have not bought any Soulstones. I'm sure I will play them on Commander Clash, so I'm sure we will see them. But Soulstone, I feel like, as good as it is, on a personal level, if I'm not making content, on a personal level, I don't think it's actually worth paying for, if that makes sense. Like, content, if we're trying to build an optimal deck, I'm going to play it because I think it is optimal. But if you look at the price of the card, which, what is the current price? Current price of the Soulstone, and this is pre-sale, so don't read too much into it. It hasn't sold that many copies yet. $140 freaking dollars. $140. Even though I think it's optimal, I would encourage you not to buy the Soulstone. I mean, if you love the Soulstone, that's fine. But the reason I would encourage you not to buy it is I think if you're building a Mono Black Commander deck, unless your budget is unlimited, if your budget's unlimited, perfectly fine, you should buy it. Unless your budget's unlimited, though, I think that you would get more out of spending $140 on other cool cards for your deck, rather than in playing a Mind Stone than spending $140 on the Soul Stone and not playing the other cool cards in your deck. It's just too expensive. It's just too expensive for what it does. It's the best at what it does in its colors, and it is optimal. But 140 is just that's more money than I am willing to pay to upgrade a mana rock slot, if that makes sense. I will also say I don't think it's really $140. Like, we can look at I'm curious. Let's look at TCG and see the actual. If we look at TCG, we can actually see if they're selling. They have sold an average of 1 per day, 63 total copies. They have sold some for as high as 199. So they're not selling like crazy, but they have sold some in that price range. Man, I don't know why Europeans don't take advantage of that and just ship cards over here and make a ridiculous amount of money. Gargadon. Mox Opal is not a Gargadon. Well, play a Mox Opal. Make a Road. Make a Munitions. Play the Wooded Foothills. Attack the Karn. I mean, if we top deck Gargadon next turn, do we win? I don't even think we win. Actually, we might, because we can just shoot down their board. So maybe we do win. Poundit gonna get an Ugin. I mean, this is gonna take... Wow, Jim with a big raid! 211. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Jim, thank you for the raid. We're playing some Modern today. We're making some weapons manufacturing with Biotech specialists, and the deck's actually been super cool so far, although this Karn is kind of wrecking us. But welcome Raiders. Thank you so much, Jim. If you want to buy the Soul Stone for your mana rocks, just buy Chromox and play Better Rock, save $50. So yeah, I don't think it's that the Soul Stone's bad. I just don't want to spend 140 on a mana rock for a commander deck. that's just too much. There goes our weapons manufacturing. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's basically draw Gargadon this turn or scoop. I think that's where we're at. If we draw Gargadon this exact turn, maybe we have a shot. And even that's not guaranteed, but we might have a shot. If we do not find, we can get a Surveil land, so we get one extra look at it, but I think it's Gargadon or bust here. So we will take a commercial district. Is it a greater Gargadon? Oh, Biotech specialist. Man, this Karn really ruined our day. If it wasn't for this Karn, So if we keep that, they're just going to... I mean, we are scooping this turn, right? If we don't hit it. Biotech Specialist would be good if we drew a Gargadon next turn. I just don't think with this setup we can play for a next turn. All right, to the graveyard. Gargadon! Gargadon, come on. Wellspring. Okay, that is a redraw. That's a redraw. We still have mana to suspend a Gargadon. Come on, Ichor Wellspring. And we get a drone token. We need the Gargs. We need the Gargs, and we need it right now. Gargadon? Biotech. All right. I mean, we'll wait. We won't scoop. We won't scoop. Let's hit the Karn. Hit the Karn. Hit the Karn for 2. Pass the turn. What a weird game. About it. I'm gonna cash in the Karn. Oh, this is probably bad. What horrible thing are they finding from their sideboard? Walking Ballista. Does that kill us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can go X4. They ping. Oh. And then they have Ugin mana. This might kill us. It might. And they get a Flesh Rake ping. And they can attack for what? 6? I think this probably makes us die. Oh, what do we do about Karn? Pound it. Going all in. Oh. Oh, that was just for the rub-ins. I see. I see. All right, opponent. Actually winning with Kozilek's command, just getting a Ballista to show that they could. So what do we do? What do we do about this? One thing that bothers me about Spider-Man is the radioactive spider doesn't tutor out Peter Parker because there's only a Spider-Man on the back. Yeah, that is a little awkward, isn't it? I mean, we're definitely bringing in Consigns. Easily our best card in the sideboard. Pithing Needle stops Planeswalkers. The problem is, it's not Karn's ability, it's the static that's such a problem. Because we had that Ravager. Like, we actually had a hand that was very good. The Karn just ruined it all. I guess the other question is, do we care about Stonebrain? Are we that desperate to stop a Karn that we would actually Stonebrain to deal with it? That might be too much. We could also bring in the Rebukes, I guess. The only problem with the Rebuke is, once they get going, they make so much mana that eventually it's going to lose its ability, but it is good against like Kozilek's command and so forth. All right, let's go down the Claw of Gix. Let's go down the Tormod's Crypt. Let's go down the Grafdigger's Cage. Let's go down the Lava Spur Boots. I guess we can just stick with one Stonebrain. Go up a Metallic Rebuke. That is true. Shrapnel Blast can kill a Karn. I mean, I guess Galvanic Blast might be able to, depending on what they do with it. Shrapnel Blast does. I mean, I guess it kills Thought Knot too. I feel like I'm cutting all the cheap artifacts, which is then going to weaken our synergies, but hopefully it's worth it. Yeah, let's try it. We'll go 1 Metallic Rebuke, 3 Consigns, 1 Shrapnel Blast. Adam Lavadan, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. First time sub, big scoops here for you. Thank you. All right, I mean, we got the Gargadon in this game. That is the piece we were missing last game. Flying Ryan, welcome you to the Fishbowl as well. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. Hey, Seth, I'm trying to build a Ketramos deck in Modern, focused on ripping apart my opponent's hand and using Surgical to make their deck useless, but I'm missing something. Would you like to take a look? I would love to take a look. There is nothing I like more than trying to make people not be able to play Magic, so it sounds like you're heading in a direction that I would appreciate. First time subs today. Thank you so much, everyone. Pelnet, I'm going to start with the Tron land. Dirty Tron player. It's so funny. I have found that I don't hate Tron anymore. Now, I'm kind of okay with Tron now. Tron used to be my arch nemesis in Modern. Boy, did I hate Tron. Oh my god, did I hate Tron. But I don't really hate it anymore. Now I'm kind of like, sure. Like, there's so much other stuff going on that Tron, I'm like, please, try to card liberated me. Thank you. We actually have a question here, which is, do we advance our game plan by playing a Biotech Specialist, or a Relic, I guess, which works really well with the Greater Gargadon? We could draw 2. Or do we just Haywire Might snipe the Expedition map? That's the question. Yeah, I think we gotta do it. I don't feel great about this, but I think we have to. The risk of them just having another Tron land and going full on Tron is just, it's too high. That seems like something that can happen. Yeah, let's just snipe the Expedition map. Make sure opponent doesn't just drunkenly stumble into Tron. That is a Tron. Oh, they would have too. My goodness. Filgry Silex. Oh, opponent's going to blow up our munitions for us. Thank you, opponent. Well, take down the Gargadon. We draw a Bobble. Well, I think we red and green. Play the Biotech Specialist. Make the lander. Commercial District, do a little surveilling. Do we want a Springleaf Drum? It is an artifact. Probably not. I'm still mostly worried about them like dropping a Karn or something. Play a Bobble. And Pester. I mean, so we have a couple of artifacts we can sack at the ready. Found it. Taking up the Filgry Silex. I was an IR Modern player from its inception through 2024. It's just no longer fun for me. I'm glad others enjoy it, though. I've found lots of enjoyment in Limited, some historic, but there's always a format to enjoy. The Kurd Bros, it's kind of funny. I've been a Modern fan since it's... I had the same progression as you, except then I came back to liking Modern again. So... Oh, I'm so glad we blew up that. That Expedition map. Our opponent only has 2 lands. They had the like nut draw if they had the... Oh, and there's not a land on top. They had the nut draw if they did have the Expedition map. But without the Expedition map, their hands are looking a little tamer. So tick down. We get to draw an extra card. I'm still going to look at your deck too, by the way. 1 and 2. Let's play a Relic. Draw a card. Let's Scalding Tarn. Crack the Scalding Tarn. Get a Mountain. Sack the Relic. Burn, you draw a card. Wait, is there a chance? Do we win here? Is this actually lethal? Oh my god, that Bobble. I think that Bobble might make it lethal. Wait, are we just going to combo kill? Relic. Draw a card. Opponent's at 16. Sack the Relic. Burn ya. Down to 14. Oh, in a Mox Opal. Oh my goodness, in a Mox Opal. Play a Bobble. Play a Mox Opal. Sack the Lander token. Burn ya. Sack the Bobble. Burn ya. Oh, this deck is so sweet. Sack the Mox Opal. Burn ya. Down to 8. Biotech Specialist, you've done your job. You can go. An opponent scoops it up. Oh, this deck's so good. That deck's so good. So my Modern with this. Oh, I got my first tooth pulled today, and I never want to go through that again. Your stream is going to keep my mind off of it, thanks. Giga Goliath. I never had to get a tooth pulled, but I did have to get my wisdom teeth out, which I guess is getting teeth pulled. And I had an extra one, which, oh, it was bad. And then I got infected. I also would prefer not to ever have to do that again. Well, hopefully the stream will help. My experience with Modern, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, Kurt Bros. Diehard Modern fan, through its entire life. It was really Modern Horizons 2 to 3 that really made me not like Modern. And it was really the last year, 2024, is when I stopped playing Modern for like almost a year. I played very, very little Modern. But then recently, I've decided I like Modern again. And what changed for me is I eventually just decided that Modern was never going to be what it was in 2015 or 2016. And it was going to be a format that was built mostly around Modern Horizons cards. But it's still a fun format, even if it wasn't what it used to be exactly. Like, it's something different now, but that something different I've started to find fun again. So now I've really been enjoying Modern again. Yeah, suspend naturally gives haste. Whenever something comes off a creature comes off suspend, just part of removing the last suspend counter is it gets haste. That's just part of, because it's not very intuitive, but Wizards the rules count like suspending the creature is the turn you played the creature in a weird way. It's very weird the way it's worded. All right, let's look at this deck that we hadn't got to look at yet. So this is the Ketramos Modern deck, Ketramos Emperor Abodes. Huh. I'm not sure if I'm understanding the purpose of Emperor of Bones. I guess it's just to exile a card from the graveyard each turn. Kaya, Karn, Cruel Close Eyes, Inquisition Pest Control, Surgical Extraction. I like the idea of it. I'm trying to think of what. Do we need to change anything? Probably. Let's just run it back like that. Might need a little bit more like. It's a ton of discard. Not that much board interaction. I might try to look at more like. I might trim back a little bit, just like Cruel Claw, Inquisition, and Thoughtseize. That is a really, really large amount of discard. I might trim back a little bit on discard and place some more like exile the board effects. I'm also not very sold on Emperor of Bones. I imagine there's like, if you're just trying to exile a card from the turn and you don't really have creatures to reanimate, which this deck doesn't, I think I'd rather just have another Relic of Progenitus or something. I think if all you're playing this for is like essentially a Grizzly Bears that can adapt and become a 4/4 and exile something each turn, I'm not sure that's enough value for me to want Emperor Bones. This hand is kind of wacky. I don't think we keep this. This hand just doesn't. It's all 2-drops. Well, this we're gonna keep. For better or worse, and it might be for worse. That is a very real possibility. I guess we put one of the relics to the bottom. I mean, this piece has what we need to win the game. It's just very slow and clunky. Oh, Graveyard Trespasser could be good in that slot. I can see that. Trespasser, Dauthi Voidwalker. I like the idea, though. I like the idea the deck is heading in. The solution to Modern is just to forcibly. I mean, that's really what it came down to me. Eventually, I was just like, you know what? Like, because that was the biggest thing that bothered me is like, it's Modern Horizons block constructed. And I don't think that's untrue. I think it is, in a lot of ways, Modern Horizons block constructed. But it turns out that if you don't think of it like, oh, I wish it was this thing that it was in the past, and you just think, is this fun in the moment? I eventually realized, oh, you know what? It's still actually pretty fun. It might not be my dream world, but it's still actually like a pretty fun format. Opponent Urza's power plant. Can we draw a land? Can we draw a land, please? We can. It's a mountain. Well, okay, so we're going to play a mountain. We're going to suspend a Gargadon. Pass the turn. Putting a lot of value in leaving up Consign to Memory at the moment. Consign is really, really helpful against our opponent's deck. Ugh, Urza's Tower. I find myself wondering if there's a way we could do this deck but have Blood Moon in the sideboard. Land. Okay, that is a land. Well, we will 1 and 2. Ooh, how greedy are we? We could warp a Pinnacle Emissary into the Relic. But then we can't leave up Consign. Let's just Relic. I think that's fine. Let's just play the Relic, draw a card. It's all right. No more lands. No moss. No moss, Magic Gods. We have enough. Bound it. Yeah, I think we just have to leave up Consign like forever. I mean, so far, Chaos Factory Gaming, we're 2-1. We're 2-1 in our league, and we're 1-1 in this match in round 4. We gotta counter it, right? We have to. Kozilek's command is so ridiculously good. It's so good. I feel like we gotta counter it. If we don't counter this, the risk is then they can untap and play a Karn or something, but I think 3 spawns and Scry draw is just too much. You think let it go, really? I'm so worried. I'm more worried about the mana. The Scry and draw doesn't matter, but the 3 spawns. Yeah, my initial impulse is you gotta counter it. I don't know if that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're gonna tap with 5. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm really on the fence whether this is right or not. I am not sure. I am really not sure, but I feel like I lose to Kozilek's command a lot, so I actually put a lot of value in stopping it. Okay. Vexing Bobble. Oh, our Gargadon. Okay, that's awkward. No more lands. Well, let's Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Play a Biotech Specialist. Make a lander. And pass the turn. That Vexing Bobble is kind of an issue. Opponent. Going to dismember the Specialist. Well, okay. Let's sack the Relic, draw a card. And do we want to sack the lander? Yeah, let's sack the lander. Sack the lander, burn ya. So hit our opponent down to 12. Sack and sack. Unfortunately, Gargadon ticking down into that. Oh my goodness. Oh. I don't know if our opponent realized how good that bobble is. Without the bobble, that turns on Gargadon, and that actually changes a lot. Opponent. Tapping some mana. Ugin. Eye of the Storm. Nothing to exile, though. Well, I think that is definitely consignable. I guess we could counter the trigger, too, just to rub it in. You know what? Yes. We're going to counter that Ugin. And then we're going to replicate it once. And we're going to counter that trigger. All right. No Ugin for you, opponent. Pass it. We draw. We take down the Gargs. It's a wooded foothill. Well, let's 1, 2, 3. Play a Pinnacle Emissary. Do we even play it or do we warp it? Warp a Pinnacle Emissary. Play a Mox Opal. One, two, three, four, 5. Do we just go all in? Let's play a commercial district, see what's on the top. Top of the deck, Springleaf. That can go to the graveyard. Yeah, I can't believe they sacked the Vexing Bobble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only question is, okay, let's think about this. Let's think. I know. I got to think about everything. So, opponent, they tap this, get back to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't get a Devour or an Ugin and put it in hand. The problem is if we sack our entire board and go in on the Gargadon, and then they deal with it, we might end up just short. I think we do it. I think we go for it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This would also mean that Shrapnel Blast would be lethal. 5. This also gets it down before a Vexing Bobble comes back. Get down the Gargadon. 9 ya. Pound it down to 3. Pass the turn. It all comes down to this. Opponent. 2 cards in hand after their top deck. What do they find? Is it a Tron land? Okay, it's a Tron land, but not the one we were worried about. So I think they're 1 short of casting the Devour or the Ugin, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Desperation Sack of the Mind Stone. Did we get there? Gargadon? Oh, we got there, and we're up to 3-1. It's working. The kids are eating. A treasure chest has been locked in. It's working. Oh man. I love Modern. I do love Modern. What did we lose to? It's been so long, chat. What did we lose to in round 1? What was our loss to? I'm trying to remember. We got smacked. Oh, Amulet. Oh god. I blocked that match out of my mind. we got hard smacked by Amulet. Yeah, that wasn't even. We actually felt good about it. We had like a turn 2 Gargadon, and then they played 3 Primeval Titans on turn 2, and our Gargadon did not beat 3 Primeval Titans. Imagine that. Well, I mean, I guess this is it. I guess it's time. For us to play our last round and see if we can get there. Oh, chat, I got another question for you. I got a question for you. Have any of you tried the Pick 2 draft yet? Oh yeah, the Cosmic Wave Self-Destruct decks was cool. I'm glad. Yeah, that deck is just such a neat idea. I'm glad you liked it, because I also liked it. It was a neat way to take advantage of Cosmic Wave. Has anyone tried Pick 2 draft? I'm curious how it is, because I feel like Pick 2 draft is gonna be very good with. Was it fun? I think it's gonna be the best way to draft the Spider-Man set. So I'm curious how good it is. So here's the idea of the Curd Bros. It's a new draft format they're doing, but the idea is, the biggest difference is you pick 2 cards out of each pack instead of 1, but it's designed to be only 4 players instead of 8, which I think that is actually the biggest upside. Is it's supposed to be one of the hardest parts of getting a draft together a lot of times is finding 8 different people that want to draft at the same time. So I think that having a 4-player draft format's a neat idea. It sucked hard. Ugh. I haven't tried it yet. I think I will be in the future for something that I think is currently unannounced, but you get way more. The decks end up way more consistent. Chaos drafting is super fun. Is it an acknowledgement that draft nights don't get enough players anymore? I honestly think of it the other way. Maybe that's part of it, but I think it is. If you think of what WotC does, a lot of what Wizards has done over the past 5 years, 7 years, it essentially, I think, has been influenced by the popularity of Commander. I think if you look at Wizards' choices, many of their choices seem based on, oh my god, this Commander format is insanely popular. How can we make other aspects of Magic that popular? And the answer Wizards has come to is make them more like Commander. So I think part of it is the Spider-Man set and the fact that they didn't build it for traditional draft. But I think the biggest part of it is it's a draft format that you can play with your Commander play group. So if you have 4 people that come over and play Commander all the time, you can be like, oh, maybe we don't play Commander tonight. Let's do a pick 2 draft instead. So I think that was the goal. If you go back to Companions, that's another example of Wizards trying to Commanderify standard. Pick 2 draft is Commanderifying limited. Essentially, they realize, and rightly so, that Commander is an incredibly popular way to play Magic, and they're trying to just make sure that other formats are more like that. Yeah, I think the drafting is actually still pretty popular. I've met several people lately who have told me something to the extent of limited being the only way that I enjoy playing Magic at the moment. Like, I used to play other formats, but I don't really like those formats at the moment. So the only way I play Magic is I play limited, I play draft. Beta testing for Through the Omen Path on Moto starts tomorrow, and debating joining or not. Gotta uninstall Moto and install the beta test environment. It's annoying. Ooh. Wait, maybe I should do that. That's a good idea. I don't even think I'm part. I wonder if I'm in it because I'm part of the Daybreak thing, but I've never beta tested. It would be interesting to see this that early. Can non-creature artifacts die according to Magic's rules? So Sarian Voidborn says whenever another artifact or creature you control dies. I'm actually curious about this because I believe that wording is new. Because I thought that only creatures died by the rules of Magic. However, maybe that's different now. I don't know if there's anyone who has researched this more than me. I'm pretty sure that wording is new though, right? That we haven't had artifact creatures can die, but non-creature artifacts dying, I think is a new thing. I imagine they're just running out of words on cards. I mean, we did have it in a Final Fantasy card, but I think it's new in like the last year. I think it's literally just them running out of words, running out of space to put the words on the cards. I think if they could, they would say, whenever this creature or another creature dies, or when an artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life and you gain 2 life. I think that is the wording that they would use, but I think you just literally can't fit it on the card along with the rest of the warp text. Interesting. Let's Google it. What does it mean to die? I'm sure I'm going to get lots of great Google answers here. What is death like? Can non-creature artifacts die? Wait. MTG. Oh. Wait. What does this say? Is this... Oh. Well, apparently it's a new thing. Where's the actual Wizards? So point to the graveyard from the battlefield was the old way of doing it. Oh, all right. Well, Marrow. It was brought up in May. As far as I'm aware, this is the first time we've seen a card trigger with an artifact dying as opposed to being put in the graveyard from the battlefield. Is being put in the graveyard from the battlefield being retired for non-creature, non-planeswalker permanents, or is this a special case? We are now allowing cards that affect creatures or one or more other permanent types to use the word dies. Oh, I see. Okay, so this makes sense. So essentially, I think it is what we were saying before, that it's them running out of space on the card. So artifacts by themselves would still go to the graveyard from the battlefield. But if a card refers to a creature dying and another permanent type being put into the graveyard to the battlefield, then it's just going to be dies for both of them, which I truly believe is just to save space on the cards. They just too many words to write it all out. I think it's fine. I don't think it really has a major, I don't think it has a negative impact, really. I think it's fairly intuitive. When it comes down to a lot of changes like that, one of the things I'm looking for is it intuitive? Does it make sense? Like, if you're a new player who doesn't really know all the intricacies of the game, you haven't been doing it for 20 years, how would you play? How would you think it should play? And I think that dies is pretty intuitive for the thing goes to the graveyard from the battlefield. So I think it's a little weird just because it is a new thing, but I think it's actually pretty fine. Oh, this hand. I don't know about this hand. What? Did our opponent just scoop they just scooped the finals? Our opponent just scooped the finals. Well, that's not how we wanted to win, but technically, by default, we just went 4-1. We went 4-1 with weapons manufacturing, biotech specialist, Greater Argonaut in Modern of all places. And I gotta say, this deck, we're gonna open some treasure chests. I gotta say, this deck was super, super cool. I really like this deck. I think this deck is really sweet. Well, let's open some treasure chests. See if we can get some values. All right, chest number 1. We get. Ooh, wait, is Kefka? Kefka's probably not worth anything, is it? It's probably not. Kefka, Court, Mage. Mode at 3 ticks. 0.3 ticks. 0.03 ticks. Okay, it's essentially free. Sliver Legion, Well Lost Dreams. Well, all right. Chest number 2, Esper Origins. I do kind of like that art. Final Fantasy was such a good set. I really don't understand it. Chat, explain this to me. How did Wizards manage to take 16 Final Fantasy games, 16 different games? How did they take 16 Final Fantasy games, mash them all together into a single Magic set, and come out of that with a coherent story and lore? But then they do Spider-Man, which to me seems like seriously one of the easiest sets you could possibly make. Like, Spider-Man seems like super easy mode. I don't know how you mess up Spider-Man. It's like pick any of the comics or the movies and just tell the story, and you have, Spider-Man fighting the villain and a bunch of the characters. Like, it seems like it should be easy. Then how do you do Spider-Man and not manage to do any of that? I just really... Because it seems like, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just being rushed. Maybe Spider-Man just didn't, because I know just from hearing people from Wizards talk about it and so forth, the Final Fantasy, it was a process. Like, it was a process. It took a lot of back and forth with Square Enix, and it was a very, very rigorous design process. Maybe it wasn't like that with Marvel and Final Fantasy. I don't know. Maybe it's just how they handle their IPs. Maybe it's different on that end. But it is funny to me because you would think that Final Fantasy would be a way harder set to nail than Spider-Man. But somehow they nailed the hard one, but then seemingly, in my opinion at least, tripped over the one that should be the easy one, which is, I guess it's like football. It's like football where your team goes out and they beat the other team that's really good in the top of the standings. And then the next week they go play the Jaguars or something. And the Bills are famous for this. The Bills will lose like 2 games all season. And one of those games, they'll score like 7 points and lose to Jacksonville or something. But I feel like that's kind of what happened here where somehow they nailed it when they were playing hard mode and then failed with the easy mode. I wish they just took the L of people complaining that they didn't stick to their standard rules instead of taking the fat L by just ramming the set through standard. Yeah. I don't know about... I guess it going to standard is part of the problem because... Opposition Agent. What do you think about Opposition Agent coming to Arena? How many of you play Brawl? Yes, the Bills also always lose in the postseason. BILLS, boy, I love losing Super Bowls. That's been a thing since I was a kid. Um, Opposition agent, how bad do you think it's going to be on Brawl? Like, do you think this is going to be a annoying card? I think it's going to be funny to get people with. It could. I actually think it's probably an interesting card in Timeless. I think in Timeless, I think it could actually have legit uses. It was played in Legacy at some points. Hey, what's up, Andronicus? Good to have you. Yeah, it's coming with the Spider-Man set, so it's not on Arena yet. It's coming. It's coming in a couple weeks. I mean, shuts down fetch lands, shuts down tutoring, and you get the card, which is sweet. I gotta say that art's pretty funny. The Roshin Roaring Prophet art. Don't really care about the card, but the art of the profile. That is a angry, I don't even know, giant shaman, I guess, but is Reanimate coming to Standard? No. So the way they do the special sheets is the special sheet cards, the legality of what formats you can play them in doesn't change based on the reprinting. It sticks with the same format. So Beast Within, you could play in Modern and Legacy and Commander. Feed the Swarm, is that in Standard right now? I think it's in Standard. You can play Feed the Swarm in Standard because it's already in Standard. The only place legality changes is on Arena, if it comes to Arena for the first time. So, like, I believe this is the first Arachnogenesis on Arena, first comeuppance on Arena. The first, maybe Lorthos. I don't think Lorthos is on Arena. So those cards will be new for the first time. Reanimate was already actually on a special sheet, but it didn't make it Standard legal because it was on the special sheet for what? Outlaws, maybe? It might have been Outlaws of Thunder Junction. What do we get out of this? Ooh, Ghostway. Ghostway, Pillage the Bog. I still don't know why Pillage the Bog does not see more play. Pillage the Bog seems like every time I see someone play it, it looks good. Every time I've played it, it's felt good. It reads powerful. And still it just does not see that much. It does not see that much play. Is Feed the Swarm not in Standard? I was thinking it was in Foundations, but Foundations gets me. Every once in a while I realize that there's a card that I didn't know existed in Standard that actually does exist in Standard because of Foundations. Oh wait, no, it was in Foundations. It is, yeah, it is in Standard actually. It was in Foundations, so that we did get the reprint. It's always the 61st card. It's just like, right, that makes sense to you. All right, one more. Can we get some value? Okay, well, okay. 125 play points is actually, that's like 12, 15 play points. So that's actually pretty good. That's like the cost of an entire league. Magma Phoenix, not especially good. Wooded Foothills, fetch lands are so cheap on Moto. I think Wooded Foothills is probably like $1 or $2. Speaking of cheap, look at the prices. This is wild. Look at the prices of Final Fantasy. Look at the prices of Final Fantasy on Magic Online. A complete Final Fantasy set, $22. Complete. That means every card, right? That is the full set. The most expensive cards. Starting Town, almost $10. Vivi, $6. Sephiroth, just under $3. Cecil and Fire Magic over $1. Nothing else over $1. There's no set redemption. There's no set redemption for Universes Beyond sets, unfortunately. So you can't redeem it for a paper set. So it is just, that's why the reason that cards have value on Moto is because you can trade them in for paper versions of the cards. You can't do that with Universes Beyond sets like Final Fantasy. So the cards like are almost worthless. They're very close. Like Vivi and Starting Down have value because they see play in non-standard formats. But really, so many of the cards that are so expensive in paper, most of the sets like 2 cents. Lightning's 2 cents. Joshua's 2 cents. It's ridiculous. I like the Omen Path versions. I like the Omen Path versions a lot. Full set. Oh yeah, once it's probably the same. Let me see. You'll see the same thing. The difference with Final Fantasy is it's a more recent set, but you'll definitely see that with sets that wrote are no longer redeemable. So the way they do it is like they print a new standard set. I think it's for the first 6 or 9 months now. It used to be as long as the set was in standard, you could redeem it. But now it's like for the first 6 or 9 months after the set releases, you can redeem your full set on Magic Online for a complete set in paper. So that's why, like Tarkir Dragonstorm, a complete set's like 72 bucks, because you could buy this complete set for 72 bucks. And, or I guess it's 84. I'm looking at the buy list price. 85 bucks. It's 85 bucks to buy it. So you buy a complete set of Tarkir Dragonstorm for 85 bucks. Go to the store on Magic Online, pay 20-ish bucks for shipping or whatever, and they will just send you a complete set in paper. Same with Edge of Eternity, it's $113. But once you can't do that with the set, that's how you end up with Ether Drift, $13. Foundations, complete set, $12. The ones that still have value, like Dustmorn, is like 40 some dollars. That's because cards like Oculus or Balemerc see a lot of play in Modern, and that's what really drives the prices. Oh, how was it Thunder? Oh, that's the Vault. What is the cheapest set on here? After, wow, March of the Machine, March of the Machines, 291 card complete set, $2.14, and that's the sell price. The buy price is 59 cents. The most expensive, there's two 10-cent cards, Invasion of Tarkir and Ren and Realmbreaker. And literally almost the whole set is a penny. Yeah, how could you go wrong? How could you go wrong? Streets of New Capenna, $3. Crimson Vow, $1.99. $1.99 for Crimson Vow. Corset, 1/3. What do we got? Ravnica Allegiance, $1.30. Oh, Rivals of Ixalan. There it is. Oh, Hour of Devastation, 81 cents. That's a small set, though. Ixalan is a large set. The most expensive card in the set is 0.005 cents. Carnage Tyrant, sell 2 cents. That's the chase card. I mean, that's a big upside of Moto, but it's not always that good, because if you look at some of the chase cards that you need, like, this is probably easier to see. I mean, this also works for Commander. So many Commander cards that you're used to paying like 50 bucks for on paper are like $1.50 on Magic Online. It's ridiculous. But where it starts to fall apart a little bit is when it does come to chase cards, and it's still way cheaper. Like the Dimir Standard deck, 336 bucks, 97 bucks on Moto. But if you get back to like modern staple decks, they're still kind of pricey. Where actually, honestly, I guess Moto prices are just way down. Because I definitely remember buying Modern Jund. This was back before loan programs, back before any of this. I just wanted to play Modern Jund on my own. And it was like $1,300 US to build Modern Jund. Now the best decks are like around 300 bucks, which I know is still a ton on digital cardboard for Moto client, but still, compared to what it used to be, prices are way down. Quantum Riddler, yes. That's what you see where cards, when a new card breaks out in Modern. So here's the weird thing about the Moto economy. The way the Moto economy traditionally worked is people draft the new set. The people who only play limited sell all the cards from their drafts to fund more drafting, and then the constructed players would buy the cards from the limited players who sell the cards that they don't want to fund more drafts. This system fell apart. Hey, Nate, thank you for I think I missed it too. Nate Fennelly, thank you so much for the raid. I didn't even notice. I was so enthralled in Moto prices of all things. Thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate it. But the way that's how it used to work. But then what happened is they launched Arena, and now everyone drafts on Arena. People don't draft on Magic Online anymore. So you get into these sticky situations where a card like Quantum Riddler comes out, and it ends up taking off in Modern, and there's just not a huge supply of it. It primarily happens with Mythics, but there's not a huge supply because there's not as many people drafting, and then you have all these Modern players that need Quantum Riddler to build the new hot deck in Modern, and the price ends up getting really out of hand. So you end up with $100 Quantum Riddlers of all things. Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. What's the Mirrodin set selling for? I'm sure. I don't know what Mirrodin actually has. What Mirrodin actually has in it. This sees modern play anymore. I don't think there's a ton. Pioneer sets, modern sets. Where is Mirrodin? Mirrodin is 16 bucks. So Saviors of Kamigawa, $1. Anyway, that's the Moto. That's the Moto Finance. Well, I'm gonna say I really enjoyed this deck. So, one more thing on Spider-Man. I noticed this. Does anyone else remember the old platform called Apprentice? It was like Magic Online, but absolutely no art cards, were basically just colored boxes. I think you need a friend's info to play together, no random matchmaking. Ooh, I remember Cockatrice. Cockatrice? I don't think I ever played Apprentice, but I definitely remember playing Cockatrice. Did Apprentice have a rules engine that like enforced the rules? Cockatrice didn't have a rules engine. What do you make of... Hang on. What do you make? I'm curious about these numbers I wanted to ask you all about. I've been trying to figure out like how popular is the Spider-Man set? How well is it selling? And I'm curious what you think, if these numbers actually mean anything. So I was looking at Final Fantasy on TCG Player. And one of the nice things about TCG Player is you get a little bit of data that you wouldn't get other places. So Final Fantasy Collector Booster Box. The set has basically been out for 3 months now, I believe. So Final Fantasy release, yeah, roughly exactly 3 months ago. So since the set really came out, it is sold. Well, I guess this is the last 6 months. That's fine. So anyway, it sold 6,500 boxes on TCG Player, an average of 35 boxes sold each day, with, wow, look at that sale price. That can't be legit. Lowest price for $15. There's no way someone sold that. But the average price probably $1,200 or something like that. So Final Fantasy, 35 boxes a day. I was looking at Spider-Man. Current price is around $800, $825, let's say. It has sold 1,500 total boxes. I guess maybe going back 6 months is too long. Maybe we got to go 3 months to make it more realistic. It sold 14 a day on average. Even if we just go to the last month, 19 a day on average. Does that mean that Spider-Man is just not selling as much as Final Fantasy? Or is there something else I'm missing? I guess if you look at just the last month, Spider-Man's done better than Final Fantasy, but that's Final Fantasy 3 months in versus Spider-Man during spoiler season. The prices are ridiculous. The prices on collector boxes are absolutely... I guess we could check. This might be better and more important info, actually. I'm curious. Do they not have play booster boxes? That art does look cool on the gift bundle. Play booster. All right, let's look at play boosters. So play boosters. 223 sold a day of the last 3 months, Final Fantasy. Where are we at with Spider? 84. What if we go to the last month? 54. Huh? Average daily sold last month, 27 for Final Fantasy. Oh, I see. Those numbers were way different. Oh, so Final Fantasy sold 75 a day, 54 a day. So I guess it's actually like still ahead, but not super far off. I think this set will sell well. I don't think it's going to do Final Fantasy well. I think that it will do well because I think the treatments are legitimately super cool. And I think that's going to be enough to move the set. But I don't think it's going to do Final Fantasy numbers. That's also possible. We're looking at one snapshot, right? Where this is only TCG Player. So TCG Player, I know people have been mad at them lately because I've been hearing like people have had issues with like their shipping and stuff since they moved. So maybe it's like less people ordering on TCG or something like that. Nothing will do. I think Avatar is going to do pretty well. I don't think it not doing Final Fantasy numbers will be considered a failure. I have to think that Wizards also thinks that because they had to make these late changes, it was a small set and they moved it to being a big set and all that kind of stuff. My assumption is that Wizards will grade it on a bit of a curve because of that. And I do think it'll still sell, but I don't think that Wizards expects this one to do Final Fantasy numbers. On the other hand, I don't know, maybe they do. Like, remember, this is I think that Wizards expects the Marvel sets to be some of the biggest sets they've ever made. I think they expect the Marvel sets to do Final Fantasy numbers. I don't know if they expect this Spider-Man set because of the stuff around it, like having to make so many changes, but I do think they expect the Marvel's going to do that because there is no way they would make the deal of we will do this even though we won't be able to use the cards in digital and all that stuff. There's no way they sign that contract unless they think that Marvel's going to make them a ridiculous amount of money. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. I also think that none of it really matters in the sense that if you're someone who's hoping, oh, Spider-Man will do really poorly and then they'll stop printing Marvel sets. I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure that it's locked in. Like, I imagine that there's contracts and that they're locked into doing 3 or 6 or whatever number of sets there. They already told us they were doing a bunch of them. So I imagine that is actually set in place. I don't know, maybe there's some wording where you could back out of it at some cost or something, but I'm not sure. I think it's likely that we get 5 more. I think that is the most likely number. That's based mostly on the Soul Stones and the Infinity Stone thing. Maybe in future sets, because this was a small set, maybe you get 2 Infinity Stones in some sets, so maybe it's like 4 or something. But I think that's the plan, is to have a bunch of them. LGS pre-release 45, normally 35. Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see just how the release actually goes and how it goes. I just like to see the prices to be obtainable. That's it. Final Fantasy up a huge spike that I can't rock with. I mean, that is one of the biggest issues we've had lately, is just because of Final Fantasy, especially for collector boosters, it's just gotten way more expensive. Thankfully, play boosters have still been kind of okay, and the good news in all this is a lot of single cards are still very affordable. If anything, in some ways, it's so weird that a lot of individual cards are cheaper than they've ever been. So if you're just looking to pick up like this and that random, commander staples and standard cards, a lot of the cards that used to be $10, $15, $20 are now a few dollars. So there is good news, but yeah. Rorik's Venture for this 60 for... Oh man, I got a meme on one more thing. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I got a meme on Spider-Man just a little bit more. One more thing. One more bit of memeing, I promise. Where are the... Did you see the secret layers? I gotta look it up because it's so funny. Oh, here they are. Okay, here's the secret layers. So they announced yesterday a bunch of Spider-Man secret layers. I gotta say, the newspaper ones, they look super cool. Blasphemous Act Commander Staple, not super expensive though. I think Scheming Symmetry. I think that they're leaning on it being Spider-Man to sell the cards because value-wise not super high. This one, we have, this is the one that gets me. So Spider-Man Heroic Deeds, Ephemerate 3 visits, Lightning Greaves Soul Ring Command Tower. Okay, that makes sense. It's for Commander players. Mana Symbol lands look cool. But then we had another, we'll go back to that one. We have another layer drop right here. Spider-Man Villainous Plots, Deadly Dispute go for the throw, Lightning Greaves Soul Ring Command Tower. Why are they printing 2 Spider-Man secret layers that are like mostly the same cards? They're so similar. Even the artwork looks pretty similar. So why would you do the same cards twice in the same release? It's just so funny to me. So I like some of the art styles, like the black and white art looks cool. I think the lands look cool. Even that Damnation looks pretty cool. I just don't know about trying to double up with Lightning Reef, Soul Ring, Command Tower. Maybe they just trust that I don't know, commander players are going to buy it anyway or something. But yeah, there's not a lot of value. Not a lot of value in these as far as card value. Although this one, like the Venom one, I think you can tell when Wizards worries about like the popularity, because this one gets Damnation, it gets Surgical. I feel like the most values in the Venom drop. Maybe they thought everyone's going to buy the Spider-Man ones anyway. We can put any cards in there because they're going to have Spider-Man art. But they weren't as confident with the Venom art, so they had to put good cards in there. Oh, the art on them super cool. I think the Venom, value-wise, the Venom drop seems like the best of the drops. The rest of them, the cards, if you like Spider-Man, they look cool. Like, the art is cool and stuff, but value-wise, I think the Daily Bugle ones, probably my favorite style, just the way they look, although they are kind of really hard to gronk. Like the Spider-Man Rhino City Strike. The extra words on there a little much. Burning Bush, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you. It's so funny. It's so funny because I'm so not a consumer. And it's so funny that Magic is like a huge part of my life because it's such a consumery kind of game. And I'm just not like a consumery kind of person who's into just buying random stuff just for the sake of it. But still hate the format, putting the title of newspaper above the card. Yeah, that part was a little bit awkward. I'd be interested to know how the art for Omen Paths went and was commissioned. Some of it turned out really good. I think that a lot of it was existing art that was like cut from previous sets, and then I think some of the spider art they had to commission. I just can't imagine there's some of the coolest pieces of spider art, like the arachnid one with all the spiders I keep coming back to just because it looks so cool. That one I have to imagine that they would have used it if they had it. So I think it's probably a mixture of stuff left over from previous sets that they didn't use and some new commissions for specific pieces like Arachnomania or whatever. Maybe it's like, is it the Mythics? Maybe did they go like the Mythics or Chase cards ended up getting like new custom art? I don't know. This looks like I could easily see this being a piece of art that they had for at the end of like Outlaws of Thunder Junction, right? When they were doing that set, I could easily see that being like a leftover. Some of the art looks very Bloomborough-ian. This to me looks very much like this could have been a piece that was cut out of Wilds of Eldraine, like the mirror on the wall, like fairy tale thing. This could have been a Wilds of Eldraine art that they just never used on a card. So I think that some of it, if you look at it, you can kind of figure out, I bet this was connected to that set. And then some of it, I think, is probably just brand new art that they actually hired someone to make. It could have been Dustmorn. There's definitely some that feel Bloomborough-y. Some of the animal, the cute, like the Strength of Will, definitely looks like rabbit art from Bloomborough that didn't get used. This definitely looks like Quintorius. I guess it's even Quint's Insight, which I imagine is referring to Quintorius. So you can kind of tell. A little bit. Bloomborough was a banger. Bloomborough was so good. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So what do we learn? We learned that Modern is still pretty fun. And the Greater Gargadon with Weapons Manufacturing Biotech Specialist, actually super, super cool. And we will be back next week with another stream to have some more fun. So reminders on the way out. Yeah, you came in right at the end. This week. So reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams. Normal YouTube. Gonna be a fun Against the Odds tomorrow. Also, tons of gameplay coming up. So keep an eye out for that. Some more Spider-Man stuff as we work towards release. And one more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. And most importantly, thank you to all of you, because y'all are amazing and awesome. And I love you so much. Thanks for hanging out, playing Modern, having some fun. Have a great day, everyone. Be good. I love y'all. And we're going to play some more Modern soon because I really enjoyed this deck. But anyway, be good. I love you. Have a good week. And I will talk to you soon.